big up, and welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I'm Liberal 12th Man, and I am going to be doing a rating show today, and we're going to be joined by the Irishman. We're going to be joined by Scouse Lee, and we're joined by you, hopefully, in the chat. My definitely lovely fellow Reds, mighty Reds. How are you guys doing today? Lee?
Excellent. You've just torn me away from a Bela Lugosi movie marathon. It was a 10-hour movie marathon on Cult Classic Cinema on YouTube. It's a live stream, you know what I mean? It's got like chat. It's got chat and like loads of Bela Lugosi films. Excellent, actually. It's put me in the mood for football now, though. All that horror has put me in the mood for football.
Got you. Okay. Irishman, how are you?
Very well. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
For those that partake.
Yeah, for those that partake, for sure. Definitely do not go overboard with the candy if you do. We have certainly some treats to pass out today, because we're going to be going over some of the ratings, obviously, for that Brighton matchup that we had just on Wednesday. We got another Brighton matchup coming up again on the weekend, Saturday. So it's the games again, Fast and Furious, minus Vin Diesel, and we should be able to gauge what we should expect from this team going into this game against Brighton. I know that I've already seen that some of the Brighton supporters are pretty confident, actually, that they can get a result against us, which is very interesting. I don't understand why they would think that, considering they were going against a more subdued lineup. But that's what they think they can do, is against us, is they can get a result at Anfield. So I'm hoping that we show them that they're wrong in that attribute. But what I always like to ask as the initial question is always that feel good moment, from Wednesday. And what was the feel good moment from the fact that we are now about to be going into the quarterfinals and have a matchup in December against Southampton, at Southampton?
Yeah, I'm pleased with the draw. That's a good draw, that.
Yeah.
I can't see us not winning there. People say, anything could happen, but I think what's going to happen is we're going to win that tie. So that'll put us into the semi-finals. One step away from Wembley.
One step, yeah, or two steps away.
I do love the League Cup, actually. Once it's there, it's the final. I don't see it as being that much of a downgrade on the FA Cup. It's not much below the FA Cup, a little tiny bit still. You know what I mean? But the FA Cup's not what it was. You know what I mean? And the League Cup ain't that much of a downgrade on the FA Cup, in my opinion. But when I grew up, Liverpool didn't do brilliantly in the FA Cup. We won everything else, the league every year, Europe, but we weren't that great in the FA Cup.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm bound to say that.
Bound to say it. Okay, got you. Irishman, do you have a feel-good moment from this game? That's the question I always like to start off with.
And I always struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, I just still can't get the public execution out of my head. It's hard to find a feel-good moment when Kwanzaa won't be good. But I suppose the feel-good moment, Yaros pulling off a worldy save was a nice thing for him to be able to do. I mean, we all know what it's like. It doesn't matter how many times you played. When you go out onto the pitch for your next game, you still need that good first touch. You still need to feel the ball a couple of times to feel good and confident. And when you pull off a save like that, that's really going to kind of get you going again. You're like, right, okay, I'm in good form tonight. So that was good to see someone that we had pretty much no knowledge of until the last couple of weeks, and kind of, oh, who's this Yaros guy? What's he like? Is he any good? And now we've got to see him. Now we've got a really good goalkeeper. So that'd probably be it. Like, it was great to see him. I mean, we shipped two, but I still thought he had some good moments.
Okay.
I was pleased.
Yeah, I didn't really get your Lee. What was your feel good moment of this game?
Feel good moment of the entire match. I was pleased with Cody to come in and get 2 goals. That's a tough one, that, for the entire match. What was the best moment? I'll come back to me on that.
Okay.
Come back to me on that.
Okay, no problem. Big up to everyone in the chat, by the way. You got a good crowd already showing up, and I appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah, I think that's Baz. Is that Baz out of CTV Legacy? Yep. That's Baz.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Hey, Baz.
LVFC TV has why it says Legacy is because he did a closing statement on the channel, but it's still up, and but I don't believe he's no longer making content for it, so he's keeping it.
Hey, Baz, you're welcome on here anytime, man. Anytime you want to call in, you're always welcome here, man. Keep your hand in the game, as it were.
Yeah,
I will choose the Cody thing. Cody getting 2 goals is the feel good thing for the match, because I was pleased that he got back in the side. I did it with 2 goals.
Okay,
nice
that's a good shout.
So yeah, that's what.
That's a good shout.
And I'm hoping to see him now at the weekend. I'm hoping to see him start at the weekend again, probably with Nunes and Salah.
That's a good shout too, by the way. I like Robert's shout for his feel good.
Neone,
yeah. Trey Neone is a real good feel good moment. Like, as in, it's a player that we all want to see get opportunities. Obviously, the best way for young players like himself to get these opportunities are in cup matches, especially the League Cup being the most notable roadmap into getting into the team. And that was a good moment to see. I was really, really happy to see that.
You got to get into a team, any which way you can, you got to get into the team. He's had a little crack there. The commentators were very complimentary. I thought the commentators were like, oh, this boy has a bit of confidence. This boy has a bit of skill, doesn't he? They were very kind of, they were enthused by his performance, put it that way. They thought he was really good in a short period of time. He didn't have a huge amount of time to impress. He tried a couple of things. He wasn't afraid to try stuff.
No, he wasn't. He went out there and he just, I think that if there's anything that we've learned from the youth academy players that have gotten their opportunities, as in some notable names that have gone on that now are playing with other clubs, like your Bobby Clarks or and the likes, even Bishetic a little bit, but in other ways. Yeah, it's a real good opportunity for you to make a mark, for you to actually show that you deserve to be there. And again, it was against a team. It was against a Premier League level team. This isn't like he was going against some some championship team or something like that, or some a lower level club. It was
their side wasn't that bad. The side they put out wasn't that bad.
No, yeah, I thought that the side they brought up was really, really good. I think my feel good moment also for myself was probably there were a couple, but I would probably say the Yaros save really made me happy to see that he was. It made me happy because it just shows that we have some, for one of the first times in a long time, and again we got Brian. And we've got Lee here who are very knowledgeable with the history and have watched this team for years, many years, possibly even more years than myself, certainly more years than myself, actually. And that is the fact that we have technically 4 really good goalkeepers. And I get that the fourth is still currently on loan, but I mean, we have some we are really stockpiled at goalkeeper currently, and it's something that, you know, I don't think you could really say this is keep it to the Prem at least, you know, in the last like 30 some odd years. I don't know if there's ever been a case where you could say that we've had a number 1, number 2, number 3 possibly, and even ongoing into a incoming number 4 goalkeeper that you could say are really top level goalkeepers. And it made something. My field goal moment, why I still feel good, because we all know how much of a difference Ali made to this team, and it at least gives me a little bit of reassurance that if and when we do make that transition, we might be reassured. Now I get it that this is last year for Yaros, but it just goes to show that, like, we've got options to choose from. That's what was my feel good moment. So JK's with us as well.
Easy enough.
Okay.
Bless, bro.
Okay.
Big up,
Bless
big up.
Lee and Brian. Hope you're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trying to see if anyone else put in there. I showed the feel good moment from Robert. See if anyone else has any feel good moments that they wanted to mention or share with us. JK, we were just sharing our feel good moment of the game. What was your feel good moment of the game? What was the moment that you were just like, yes?
I think Gapco strike. I think beautiful. I think that was the moment the game opened up the scoring, and yep. So for me, Gapco's strike, I think that was a beautiful moment.
It was the nicest of the 3, wasn't it? The first goal.
Yeah.
The nicest goal of the 3. And that's what pleased me. I'm getting back in the team with 2 goals. And I want to see him at the weekend. Lucho disappointed me against Arsenal.
Yes.
He scored last night, but I want to see Cozy at the weekend with Nunes and Salah. That's what I like.
But what I liked also about yesterday was that we didn't need Salah, so to say.
So to speak, we still got him.
We got Gapco and Diaz both got the goals. You know, so
great for Gomez to get a game as well. Like, want it, you know, because he's been waiting, got himself a game, and we got through at the end. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a cup tie. We got through. We move on,
that's
don't we?
Yeah. Also, shout out to Tyler Morton, by the way, too. That was a good feel-good moment. To see him get a start, by the way, and seeing the only get the play was good. But seeing Tyler Morton, I know, shout out to Callum from Team Coppish. I know that he's very, very big on Tyler Morton. He's followed him very exclusively. So it was good to see the young player get an opportunity to start and get some experience in the game. And he looked good. He looked good in the game too.
Yeah.
He didn't look out of place, at least. Shout out to Bernie. Big up. One of our Red Jewels in the house. Big up. So I thought we could also speak on Scapegoat FC is definitely raising its ugly head again with the club. I guess it's an interesting phenomenon. I think it's with social media, there's been some positives and negatives, and one of the negatives is certainly the way that narratives and agendas are one thing, but narratives can kind of can start to pick up pace. And one narrative that is certainly starting to pick up pace is the decline, if not the somewhat outright disrespect by some of our fan base towards Robbo, our captain for this previous game. And it's just interesting. I just got done a really, really good show, actually, with K-Mac, JJ, and Ensman on Ensman TV. And shout out and appreciate him allowing for me to be a part of the conversation. I definitely reached out to try to become a part of that conversation because I know that the narrative is certainly more so tilted towards a negative narrative towards Robbo. I've heard particular. He's a content contributor. He's not necessarily a content creator, I guess. He doesn't have his own channel, but he contributes towards content creators. And I want to make sure I get the quote correct. He said that maybe not only was Robbo Robbo overrated, maybe he was. I have to get the words correct. I don't like to misquote. It was something on the lines that, like, maybe he was like a one-hit wonder in essence, basically, in that maybe we're overlooking Robbo and his skill set, and that he was he wasn't, maybe he just wasn't as good as people think he is. It really, really put me for a loop to hear that one. You know how my Reds defense membership got probably like kicked into gear on that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we missed. Who said that? No, I just missed who he said it. Sorry, just the name. Who said that?
Who said it, or who's?
Yeah, no. Who said? No, literally, who said the whole quote? I missed it. And someone else is asking who it was. They must.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. And this isn't me throwing. This isn't me taking a shot or throwing them under the bus. He would join he's welcome to join the show, and also he would join the show. If that was going to be on that case, I didn't really want to out him. But
you didn't say it. Sorry, I thought I just didn't hear it. If you didn't,
I did.
Okay, no. Sorry, I just thought you mentioned the guy's name and I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I can guess who he said.
He doesn't mind. I don't think he even minds it. I don't think he minds it.
I'm sure if he said it on the show.
It was Sabiri was the person who said it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sabiri was the one who said it. Made a comment very similar to that. He was putting that question into the universe, and it was a real really wild take. He was with it was Enz and Sabiri were doing a show, and Enz is kind of like sat there going like, I don't know how I follow that one up, but
So just to be clear, he's saying that Robbo hasn't gotten bad or gotten worse. It's just that he was never as good as we thought he was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. No, that's completely crazy. I know it looks like Zuby's a nice guy.
Oh, wow.
Completely fucking mental. I'm sorry, Zuby.
Oh, hell. There you
Great
go.
guy, yeah, exactly.
That's like disrespect, man.
Down the back.
Like,
no.
yeah.
I'm gonna reach out. I'll read. I'm gonna reach out.
Reverse hindsight or something. Like,
if he cost 100 million, if he cost 100 million, like 50 million, even in like this day and age of football, he cost 7 million, bro. So for me, whatever you can't say nothing about that guy. The guy never cost like 60 to 70 million, whatever it was, and he was on 150 and 200,000 pound a week. It wasn't a big signing, bro. He was go down the pub, meet your mate. He said he's got a player. So you know what, go on, I'll have him. One of them type of deals, So for me, any disrespect coming from our fans are not real for Liverpool fans, bro. Like,
that narrative is now like there's a lot of narratives now that have like, or I wouldn't say narratives, but go as far as like the atmosphere that you tend to find in when you go into a lot of the social media circles is like people take liberties. Sometimes people take narratives or try to push narratives that I don't even think they believe, but they're trying to get it for clickbait and like. I'm not saying that's Sabiri. I'm not saying that was Sabiri at all, but
at best he's overthinking it, really, isn't he?
I think he might be overthinking it a little bit. Yeah, I think he might be. I just reached out. Yeah, I just texted him to see if he's available.
What KJ said,
to clarify or to put more depth on his comment. But it was a crazy comment.
Think of the number of left backs Man City have gone through in the time we've had Robbo. I mean, Guardiola's tried that many players, hasn't he? And all that time we've had Robbo, who cost us what, less than £10 million?
7 million, bro.
Yeah.
7 million. Let's work that out. That's nothing. When you really look at it.
Buttons, isn't it? Buttons.
And let's not
forget. That's a
favour.
That is.
I feel bad. I'm not trying to put Sabiri under the bus, dude. I'm not trying to put Sabiri.
No, but let's not forget.
I see what I see the chat and some of the reaction.
I'm not going to pile in on it. Just saying. Just remember, we gave them 7 million for Andy Robertson, but in the same window, they gave us 12 million for Kevin Stewart. Nobody's ever heard
There
of
you
Kevin
go.
Stewart again.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Brian.
gave them basically Kevin Stewart. They gave us Andy Robertson and 5 million quid.
Right.
That is one of the greatest transfers of all time. 7 million quid into the, even back then, like transfers had gone through the roof, but like back then, £7 million was still absolutely nothing. That was like, oh, he only cost 7 million. He can't be any good. He
Exactly,
came from Hull.
Brian.
He can't
Exactly.
be any good.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
this just shows how good he's been. He's dipped below his usual standards, and people are on him, aren't they? Like that is probably a sign of how good he's been. That like any deviation from his very high standards, people are like, "Is this the end? Is this the end?" You know, straight away. But it isn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just needs help to get through the rest of his career now because he's like aging and he's an international as well. He seems to me that he needs a bit of help to get through like what's left of his career.
There
Yeah.
you go. Look.
Yeah,
There
but you know
go.
what?
KJ saying, no, sorry, JK. Just to finish up, KJ saying Kevin Stewart is retired now, doing podcasts about getting your life together. Like that's the guy we got 10 million quid for. We got Robbo in return.
You go downhill that quick. That's mad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but for me, like Robbo, first half against Man United, he was our best defender. So, like then in the Arsenal game, yeah, look, Saka is a dangerous winger. He's gonna take people on. He's gonna do that. That's what he does. It's like Salah not beating every left back. You know, he does it. So for me, that Saka sort of game, maybe he needed a little bit of a hand there, like little from Diaz, a little help now and again, would have been better. But for me, Robertson as a player, assist wise, up there as well. So like respect to Robbo, you know.
Does he still have more than Trent? I think he still has more than Trent. Excuse me.
I think Trent's got one more, hasn't he?
One more now. He's just gone past him. He's got yeah, that's right. Yeah, he just passed him. And apparently thingy is dropped off. Yeah, I don't get it at all. I mean, he's not gonna I'm not gonna say, oh, he's still like amazing and as good as he was 7 years ago. No, he's slowed up a bit. He's he's a lot of miles on the clock, but I mean, like I said, sir, we're doing really well, and I think people are just kind of looking for, like you say, scapegoats.
Scapegoat,
yeah,
someone to pick on. Like for me, yesterday I was on Kwanzaa's back, but there was a reason behind that, you know. For me, Robertson, I couldn't even say anything bad about that guy. Like the disrespect. Look how many years he's gave us, getting up every morning, even when it's cold, running around like a nutter, and it hasn't been on great wages. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's all right. But for me, Robertson is the old school football player, professional, playing in the Premier League for a big club, but he's still got his feet on the ground. So for me, Robertson reminds me of the old school sort of defenders, the old school sort of professional footballers. You know what I mean, Brian? That's why I think I clicked with Robertson. He has a laugh and a joke as well, like the old school players used to as well, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, he came up through the old school way, like, Ross County, some of the shite, then Hull. He's not come through a La Masia or a Bayern Munich academy at the age of 12, getting, everything done for him. This guy was probably working part-time jobs when he was 16. In fact, I know he came close to retiring from professional football altogether pretty one time. So, this is a guy who, more than a lot of them, he was at Dundee. It was Ross, where Celtic got rid of him. He went to Ross, then he went to Dundee, then he went to Hull, then he went to Liverpool. I think that's his career. I'm not sure. But this is a guy who will appreciate where he is now. He will know that if, one injury at the wrong time here or there, he would have never gotten that move and he'd be working in a supermarket or something like that. That's what he said himself, So he'll have an amazing amount of appreciation for what his career has brought him. And the amount, because you don't work hard like that if you don't have the way he works on a pitch. You don't run like that unless you just have that in you, which, I think he keep people down to earth a little bit around him, probably very real, probably drives a fairly normal car, probably doesn't live in the world's flashiest house, all that kind of stuff. He's probably just a real chill, down to earth guy and appreciates what he's got from the club. He'd run through brick walls for Liverpool, not just Klopp, for Liverpool, for the shirt. So you can't have too many of them. when his time is up, yeah, it's time to move on.
Right.
Cool.
Certainly.
You know, you don't keep these around, but you know, whilst they're here, they deserve nothing but our respect.
I just think that again, and I'm going to look up. I know the episode that it was, so I'm going to make sure I get the quote right. So I never want to misquote someone. But he's not alone in that. I mean, the chat wasn't. He was certainly emboldened possibly by the chat and some of the comments that they were bringing out about Robbo. But what point I was going to bring up is that what's very interesting is that for a lot of these players, if we were to act on everyone saying get rid of this player, there's so many players that have had obviously redemption stories, okay, and now people all of a sudden have amnesia as to them being heavily against that player, much less putting a Liverpool kit on, or even saying, oh, he's not Liverpool level, or whatever the terms that they use. It's pretty damning to see our own say it sometimes. I get that there are points in people's careers where you see you start to see them have a downturn on their performances, or you might even see a bad game or two, or maybe it's not the level that you are used to seeing. That's just called father time. I get that, and I'm well cognitive of it, but to go as far as to do sometimes the revisionary history that sometimes people do with these legends and with these players is maddening. And then them to try to utilize that revisionary history to try to apply it to one bad game or maybe two bad games is something of why and where I start to say, oh, wait, pump the brakes, you're doing way too much. But again, that's just how I'm looking at it. I don't know if you guys saw the private chat, but
yeah.
Okay, Irishman, I'll let you take it over here, or JK, or whoever wants to.
Well, yeah, if he's going to look up something there, so I suppose we can move on from the Robbo thing a little bit. But I was just wondering what people are thinking the next day after the Kwanzaa thing. How do we think that conversation may have gone today between?
Yeah, it was a really tough night for him, wasn't it? Yeah. Do you think? I don't know. Was he taking them off in case it happened again before the end? I don't know, but it did seem harsh, didn't it? And I felt for the lads. But what can you do? I mean, that's just football, isn't it? That's football.
Is he lucky we won?
Yeah, he'd probably be more in the doghouse if we didn't win, but he'll be all right. He'll get over it.
Well, KJ saying Kwanzaa looked disheartened, in my opinion, and he didn't deserve to come off. I mean, it's such a tough goal. Like I said last night, I've rarely seen that, and I think you do it normally. You bring off a striker, you bring on another defender.
Yeah, not something Klopp would do, is it?
It's real public. It's a real public hanging him out to dry, and I just think it was exacerbated by the fact that he'd done it before. It was because of the whole day one Canade thing.
Yeah,
where he'd done that before. He hooks the kid at halftime. That's that's a big kick in the
must just be his way of doing things. He must be used to doing it like that in Holland. It's a harsh place, Holland, isn't it?
They give it to you straight, yeah, but I mean, there's also, I don't know. I know JK spoke, but JK was very unhappy with what was going on with his display, and that's obviously the manager was as well. I just think when JK or KJ say no, Brian, I don't think he's lucky. I think he is lucky that we lost or that we didn't lose, because if we had lost that game or drawn that game and lost it on penalties, I mean, the guy gets pretty much 2 goals given to him. It's because we're talking about scapegoat FC, KJ, really. So I just mean from that kind of point of view.
Yeah.
would
The
he have been
second
getting
one
it?
was
Probably.
unlucky. The first one was the one where he just overran it, so it was just really bad. And then he tried to correct it, like, and do something, and there was no way near doing it. It was a bad mistake, the first one, like, and that was in his mind then after it happened, wasn't it? So that's probably why he took him off, just in case it happened a third time, like an injury time.
Yeah. Does anyone think Diaz gave up on it a bit early before the guy went to shoot? Do you remember Diaz? He was chasing the guy down before, and he just kind of seemed to give up on it a little bit.
The second one?
Yeah, the one that went in off him. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Diaz was chasing down the guy that shot, and he kind of just stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know if JK's on mute, or if you remember that, JK, or...
Yeah, I can't remember that, bro.
Yeah, he just kind of, fuck it, I'll let him shoot kind of thing. He probably would have given away a foul, whatever way he would have gotten to him, probably would have been given as a foul. Your man would have just gone down, but he kind of just gave up on it a little bit, I thought. But he was at the wrong angle. He was behind. He would have maybe gotten sent off. No, he wouldn't have, but he would have had to foul him, basically, but he kind of didn't get involved. KJ, sorry, once again, right, I didn't agree with Slott's changes. They was too soon, in my opinion. So if we lost, I'd have put this result on the manager, just like the Arsenal game.
Not Kwanzaa. For me, Kwanzaa was the only reason we let them 2 goals in where they scored in look great. I think Slot did okay. He brought on Salah and Darwin. More to do with for the opposition to look at them and think, oh, we better step back a little bit. Salah's coming on, or whatever it was. It's more of a mind thing. But for me, I think yesterday we did okay, bar them 2 mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it'll be quickly forgotten. I think it'll be quickly forgotten and move on to the league game, move on to the Champions League games. Forget about it, isn't it?
That's the best thing about football, isn't it? There's always another game 2 or 3 days away.
And quickly. There was another game for Robbo quickly, wasn't there? After Robbo's gaff at the Emirates, like, he got to start the game, and a lot of us didn't think he'd start, did we? We were all thinking Robbo was going to be on the bench, and there he is starting.
So is that does that mean Robbo or Simi then for the weekend? What do we think? I know we spoke on it last night a bit.
Yeah, this is the most interesting one, and I'm Gakpo Diaz on the left. But yeah, the left is the place where we're wondering, isn't it? I think we know the other players, like, who's going to play pretty much as we can do. But yeah, it's an interesting one that to see now if Tsimikas does start. I think Gakpo will, because he took Gakpo off, didn't he? That suggests to me that he might well be starting him at the weekend.
Could that be our first, say, usurping of the season? Gakpo taking Diaz's spot? Could that be the first?
Could be, yeah. If he carries on scoring in the first team, then Lucio's got a fight on his hands for that left wing, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think there'll still be. Sorry, JK. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I think with the amount of games we're getting, bro, I think it's sort of the rotation thing is sort of. Slot seems to like to rotate players. He did it at the start. Remember, he was picking the same team all the time, the first 3 games, I think. But slowly, he realised maybe this guy needs a little bit of a rest, and I think that's a good thing. Not seeing Diaz for a few games, he never started. Was maybe a good thing for him. He got a goal yesterday after starting, so it might have worked. But I think he's doing it in a way like where players like Trent, Virgil, McAllister, even Salah, man. Salah got brought off on the 61st minute. Who was that against? So fireworks everywhere.
I'm looking forward to Elliott's return.
Is that against Man U, actually?
Yeah.
Was that actually against Man U, JK? He got taken off early.
I'm not sure, I don't think it was the Man U game. It was one game. I know it was the 61st minute.
Yeah, real early. I remember, and that was early in the season. That was like one of our.
No, that was recently, bro. I think it was recently.
he did it early on the season as well then, because he took him off
Yeah.
early. Yeah, he's not afraid, is he? He's not afraid at all, I think. I was kind of wondering, because we don't, to me, he seems like, I didn't know what kind of manager he was in terms of how he gives his people minutes. It seems to me like rather than, and this is in the league, rather than rest somebody and sort of say, I'll bring him on if we need him kind of thing, he'll start them and then just take them off on the hour, regardless of how the game is going, almost. That's how he gives players, rest. He seems to be happy to start these guys, as long as they're, they're good to go medically. Not like he flogs them or anything, but he does seem to go, right, you will play, but it doesn't matter if you're Mo Salah or you're, well, it won't be Virgil, but say Trent. Yeah, it was Trent. Remember, he took Trent off really early. Like, if I want to, I'll take you off at half an hour to go, even if we're only 1-1. I'll still take you off. Rather than sort of like last night where it's like, I'll give Mo a rest by bringing him in for a half an hour. I'll rest him by only giving him an hour. If that, do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, yeah.
He seems to be have that set 11 almost.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm thinking like the set 11 we were saying at the start, we pretty much were able to pick it, right? Robbo, Trent, Ibu, Verge, the three boys in midfield, and Diaz, Salah, and
All right.
We're looking at Japanese
Hey,
trees.
I don't know whose background it is.
that's JK. That's JK.
So I'm going to be sending this link to Zabiri. Zabiri just got back to me, but this was the exact quote too. I'll make sure that he understands too. I'm going to send out the link to Zabiri. Let me see, because he's just going to be able to join us through audio, but all the same, I just want to make sure that so originally I said the statement and I was like, okay, when I heard it, I was like, as they say over in UK, rah, right? I was like, that was a pretty wild statement to say.
Is that not an American
statement? Basically, make sure I have it. He was talking about the seasons where the eclipse Trent is kind of like in your face, blah 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 blah. But he said basically that possibly or really and truly might actually have been. This is regarding Robbo. He said really and truly that it might have been actually that have been that Robbo was a one season wonder. And that we've been carrying him ever since that one season.
What season was that?
I don't know which particular season. I'm gonna get him on the I'm gonna get him on the show. I'm gonna make sure that he can verbalize specifically, because again, this is not
rather you didn't
trying to like take go at Sabiri at all. Sabiri's my boy. So
no, I mean I'd rather Zabiri didn't verbalize that statement, me having now read it, because I don't want to hear it coming out of somebody I like's mouth. And I like Zabiri. I really do.
It's still pretty bad to see. Yeah, the way he said. I mean, even when again, that was his statement. He's just saying that that he's viewing it as he's a one season wonder, and I don't understand how he could say that.
I'm with Lee. I want to know what season that was.
Gets the chance to verbalize it.
Yeah, no, I'm with Lee. I want to know what season that one was, because that'd be interesting. Even that on its own, I'd like season. Yeah. Okay.
I just sent it to him. Okay. So we'll see if he'll be joining us soon. I don't know which one what particular season he's speaking on. I think it was, what particular season he's speaking on. I think people sometimes. I think the fact that like there's Trent just. Yeah. No, I was gonna say I think it's kind of interesting, because there's times when I'll argue, because I went at Grizz when he was doing the when he's doing the Combined 11, and he was trying to say that Timber and all these other Calafiori or better left backs than Trent, at least, or excuse me, Trent, than Robbo at the current moment, even at the current moment. And I went back and forth with trying to get his attention on the subject, but yeah, we have the Colonel with us. So I'll allow for him to verbalize what he had to say. Welcome, Colonel Zabiri, in the house. How are you, brother?
I am good, but I've been told recently that my Bluetooth headphones sounds funny, so I want to check the sound before I get into anything.
No, you sound good.
Coming in clear?
You're a bit crispy. You're
a little crispy, but you're coming in clear enough, yeah.
Okay. You caught me off guard with the request, first and foremost.
Yeah, no doubt.
Talk to you and Brian, if I remember correctly. I think there's two other, I'm not quite sure. I just want to get the names correct before I offend.
My name's Lee.
It's Lee, JK, and Brian on the panel here with us today. Primarily, Zabiri. Reason why I reached out and said it because I
heard you reciting what I said because I was trying to get the context, so I was tuning in. I wasn't sure if you're already live, but I did hear the context of what I said. I believe I said that yesterday. If I remember. So I would repeat what I said, and if any more context is needed, I'll happily provide it. And obviously, take my opinion with a grain of salt. It's my opinion. It's from where I'm standing. I'm a free thinker. I don't run with internet narratives. I'm not on the internet. You can only get me by YouTube or WhatsApp. That's it.
Right.
All right. So
it's all right. We all go off sometimes about the football.
Well, no. This is from where I'm standing, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, it's not unplausible that if we were to carry a player in the team, how readily would you be able to see that player unless he's absolutely dog shit, right? Like if you think about the Liverpool team that we had, no single player, barring 4, was really, you're like, nah, world class, right? Barring 4 players in our team in the challenging seasons, only 4 players in that stood as world class. And that's your Alisson, VVD, Trent, and Salah. Now, Robbo outshined Trent in 1 season. So if he only outshined Trent in 1 season and was never able to do it again, it's a fair assessment to say that 1 season could have just been a 1-season wonder based off just that fact. Now, from there, I started thinking, and I'm saying, if we were to carry a player, if the player is not dog shit, you wouldn't be able to tell. So I'm like, wait, is it possible we've been carrying Robbo? You wouldn't know because he does the basics very well. He's never really stood out any other time since that 1 season. So that's where my argument of Robbo being a 1-season wonder comes from. That's where my argument of it's possible we could have been carrying him because there's no way he's going to go from a 95 player rating in our eyes and prolific and the best left back in the world to 10 games later, he's not enough. Players do drop off. There's a gradual drop off, but you wouldn't know if the player's in a great team and we're just carrying him. You wouldn't know until he absolutely loses his legs. Fabinho was touted the best 6 in the world at one point. It's possible we could have been carrying him as well. So that's the basis of the argument. It's not to pile on because he has a few bad moments or a few bad games. That's just the basis of the argument. Okay. I would love to hear what you guys think. If you disagree, questions, I'll take them.
A quick retort. Steven Gerrard was pretty shit in his last season. That mean we were probably carrying him his whole career?
No. But that's what I'm saying. It's one of those ones where I wouldn't use Steven Gerrard to rebut what I just say, because even if we were carrying him at the end of his career, which there's probably evidence that we were, because he wasn't star in most games. So that's actually fair, but we pretty much can look at Gerrard and be like, that's where the drop-off happened, when you start getting the back injections, and we can tell when his drop-off is. I don't think anyone can pinpoint where Robbo drop-off is. I don't think it was just this season, because I've been seeing replacing him in the window that passed. And I was saying it because I'm like, I can actually see the drop-off. He's always limited in his ball control, limited to his left foot. He does the basics very well. He did it at a high level at one point in time. So there's not really any real complaint. Robbo didn't come here and grow. Robert just came here and did what he did best, the basics.
No,
Right?
no,
he
no,
never grew into
Zuby,
this player. Robert never grew into this player.
Robbo is the Robbo we signed is not the Robbo that Robbo turned into. He's been massively improved by Jurgen Klopp.
No.
He was doing Zuby. If
This is Brian, right? No, Brian. No, Brian. Let me paint you a picture. I'm not nitpicking at Robbo season in, season out. The Robbo we saw against City was the birth of Robbo. Robbo didn't improve anything from that season. So when you say massively improve, the only Robbo we saw was Moreno got injured. He came in high intensity. He never turned that off, and he never turned it up. That's the same Robbo. He didn't go from, we seen him, he looked shaky, then he improved. The same high intensity we got from the jump was the same intensity we got till today.
Because he didn't get into the team until he was ready. He was improved. Like what you've done is you picked his best season, right? And you said, he never did that again. So maybe that was a one season wonder. And then what you said was you started thinking. And what I was saying, like, with all due respect and with all the love in the world, I think you started thinking and you overthunk it. You got way too
No, Brian.
Oh, actually, maybe
you're moving away.
Always shit. No, you said.
Brian, you're moving away from the point. Brian, I'm trying to stop you because you're moving away from the point. Brian, I'm trying to stop you because you're moving away from the point. If you're going to adjust the point, respectfully adjust the point. But when you're moving away from the point, you're making it look like I'm chatting shit or I'm overthinking something crazy. If you're telling me he improved, no, Brian, listen, the context is, and I'm allowing your rebuttal, but if you're going to tell me he improved, you can't tell me he improved in training before we saw him, because then all we saw is what we got. He didn't improve on anything we've seen at Liverpool. I don't care about where he came from, Hull, what he did at Hull. I'm saying to you, Robbo as a Liverpool player, from what we see and his best levels, if I tell you I scored 100 on the test and I can never score 100 again, that's a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an incorrect assessment. That's a factual assessment. So if it's a one-off,
and then you get 90, 90, 98, 95, 96, were you a one-season wonder? But
that is the context. No, Brian, that is the context. So where did he drop off? Where did he drop off is the context of my argument.
Not after one season.
That's why Ensman did his show. No, that's why Ends did his show. So I don't want you to take the conversation outside of my context, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying go find me when he drop off. No, I'm trying to say go find me when he drop off. Because if you can't find that, it's possible we've been carrying him. Because no one knows when he drop off. We've seen high intensity from day one, and all of a sudden, where did it go? Where did it went? Some people are saying it's when he got the injury. Some people are saying, oh man, he might have just been that guy, and it's starting to show. Some people are saying, oh, he's dropping off. Where? My question is where? Because if there's no where,
I can find it.
So
if someone else can't find
so
it,
if it's Brian, the last thing I have on this, and anyone can pick it up from here, because that is the context now. If you're gonna tell me he dropped off last season, my basis for this argument, we should have replaced him in the summer, and no one really agreed with me. So how is it you're gonna tell me now he dropped off last season, but no one wanted to replace him in the summer? So we knew he dropped off and kept going with him.
I just don't think
that's the context of the argument.
I don't think Jurgen Klopp would ever have carried a player. I think he helped carry us to the titles that we won. He helped carry us. He's only just been overtaken by Trent in terms of the assists that he makes. He's made for the club. So I think I just have an issue with you saying that he was a one-season winner and we were carrying him. Anne has been going to Liverpool pretty much 40 years. Lee's been watching 40. I'm not saying it's about that. Liverpool don't carry players, dude. We don't carry passengers. If you're a passenger out the fucking team, man, you're out. We don't carry them. So I disagree.
I mean, we've carried a few passengers, to be fair.
I know, not these. I'm just
but how are you going to say we carry passengers, but you're saying we don't carry them?
I'm going to finish in 2 seconds. I'm just saying this team right now, okay, you don't. You might not be good.
Well, we carried Nunes for 2 seasons. What you're saying is in fact correct. It's not correct. We do carry players.
I don't think
Nunes
I don't agree.
we're
I don't
getting
agree with
what
Nunes.
all I'm saying is,
Dude, we carried Naby for like 4 seasons. We carry Ox. We carried Alana. We carried a lot of players, bro. Why are you telling me we don't carry players?
I want to let other people talk as well. So I just want to say that I totally disagree that you say that.
No, but that's fine. But don't tell me we don't carry players to defend Robbo.
I'm really trying to finish, Zuby, so I can let other people speak. It'll take me 2 seconds. I disagree that you said that it was a 1-season wonder, and I disagree completely when you said it was a passenger. So I just I'll let other people speak then. That's me. That's my point.
Yeah, we're only the primary reason why I hit you up, Sabiri, is because I was watching that show. I watched it live actually, and when you said that comment, that kind of took me for a loop because I personally don't agree that that I would ever consider him a one. You don't achieve the numbers that he's achieved if he was a 1-season wonder, in my opinion. But because I just did the show with Ends and we were focusing on Robertson and I was engaging with other people that, K-Mac, for instance, has had an even longer assessment of that he's been on a downgrade or a downcline. And he said, because K-Mac was talking about he wanted to get rid of him 3 years ago, apparently in his mind. But when I heard the comment, I was like, oh, I mentioned your comment on the show earlier because I just got done talking about Roberts and then also we were going to talk about today about his performance yesterday against Brighton. And I wanted to make sure that you at least got to bring context to what you had to say, and it wasn't like me trying, because you're a friend and a fellow Red. I wouldn't want to I'm not trying to throw you under a bus or or put your comment in the wrong light. And I wanted to actually have some type of discourse.
You know what? I respect that, and I respect that, and I want the only thing I would ask for, whether you stand on the disagreeing fence. I don't need the agreeing per se, so I'm open to anyone disagreeing, shoot it down.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do it, talk to me like I actually have some intelligence and sense. Don't say things that doesn't make sense or isn't correct just to skew your point. Because everything I said, it's based off the fact that if you score 100 in the test and all you've been getting is 90, 90, 90, I can't call you a perfect person because you haven't hit perfection but once. So I'm not saying Robbo is the perfect player, and that is the context. And if he isn't a perfect player or the world beater that we thought he was, when did it fall off? Because if, to Brian's point, it was last season. Remember, I called for his replacement. 12, I really appreciate what you're saying. And the only thing I enjoy right now in this very moment, when I come here and I have football talks and debate, real debate, they're actually good talking points. They drive conversation. And if they're going to drive the conversation, let's have the conversation. And I'd like to hear what the other two guys think. Well, Brian, I didn't like the fact you said we don't carry passenger, because there's a list of passengers we've carried.
I can retract. Yeah,
thank you. That's all I want from you, Brian.
I meant the
Klopp. But you're right. You're right in your point as well. I want to give you that.
Klopp. Yeah. That Klopp team. Yeah, of course. Of course we had some rank.
Your disagreement is noted, and you are right in that as well. I want to give you that as well. As far as your points and your rebuttal, I hear it and respect it. And you're right in that, just not the passenger.
Patient Pops has a question for you, Zabiri. He says, so 100 is the context of the 1-season wonder. So anything under 100 is a failure then? So if he got 100, so if he got that 1 year, he was phenomenal, and he got 100. Let's say he got 100 on the grade that you gave him, and then he got, as you said, a 90, a 95, or a 92, or whatever going on beyond that year, or even previous and beyond. Maybe that was the pinnacle, and then he dropped off, as you're saying, a little here or there.
Right.
Or you don't know where that drop off is, but you're saying that is the drop off. You're saying.
All right. So to Pop's point, and not switching it, same context. If you have to be a world-class striker, it's easy to measure because they score goals. If you're a world-class striker because you score 20 goals per season for 4 seasons in a row, Are you still world class if you only come up on 5 goals the following season? Because if world class is measured on 20 plus, and then you have a season where you didn't hit the 20 plus, are you world class in that season? I'm not taking your title away, but for that season, you can't be world class now, can you? So in Robbo's context, in that one season, he was prolific as far as the left back and the about with. But he has never hit those prolific numbers anymore. So that is the measurement I'm hitting Robbo with. That's the only measurement. Pops, I don't know if that gets your question answered, but that is the measurement. It's not to nitpick at, passing at 65, but you hit 64. I'm not doing that nitpicking. I'm just saying there was a prolific season. There's never been a second prolific season. So if it's not prolific, what is it? Were we carrying him? To Brian's point, no, we weren't carrying him. He was instrumental. Fair. That's fair. Can't argue that. That's the only question I'm asking. Were we carrying him when he weren't being prolific? Because prolific was only one season, and he's been here for a while. That's the context. Once again, Brian, that made more sense, right? And you see your stats is more correct. That's all I'm asking. It's not to nitpick. It's just, were we carrying him, or he was still there? That's all.
The word carrying.
I think the word. Yeah, I was about to say. I think the word.
Oh, the word carrying is triggering. Ooh,
yeah,
that's conversation though.
That is a triggering. Yeah. Like as I think that to say the context, or not the context, but like the feeling behind someone saying you're being carried means that you're not doing you're not pulling your weight. And I think
can I be funny? Can I be funny real quick?
Okay.
Every replay I've seen Robbo in, he's 5 feet away from Virgil.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're saying that Virgil is the...
I didn't say it. I was trying to be funny.
Zubia is saying Virgil gives Robbo with his home. Every night Virgil has to give Robbo with his homes. Robbo stood outside the training ground waiting for Virgil to pick him up in the rain. Is Virgil going to show up and bring me home? Yeah.
All right. Now, next 2 guys. What are you saying? I want to hear these.
Yeah, JK Lee. You guys, JK, do you have something that you want to add or ask?
Yeah. And for me, when we look at the game of football, like in the old days, it was all about respect. Like you respected the player, what he's done for your club. He hasn't sat on his ass. He hasn't just got his wages. Didn't do nothing. Like Robertson has gave his soul to Liverpool. So nitpicking on him, he's the last guy I want to really nitpick on. I think there's other players in the team who can do that too. But for me, Robertson, the shift he's put in, and for the money that he cost, you don't get them deals no more. You will never get a deal like that ever again. Where a guy cost 7 million and he's won the Champions League, the Premier League, numerous cups, could have won more. Then he captained his country as well at the same time, So for me,
31 as he's still 30.
He just turned 31.
Right.
Just the lack of respect there, bro. That's what it's all about, really.
Wait, who's the gentleman saying the respecting?
JK.
All right. So respectfully, JK, I respect that. I respect that approach. But once again, that's not the approach I'm taking it from. It's not like I'm disrespecting Robbo. It's not about respect or disrespect. Remember, we're fans of the game, and this is what fans do. We'll congregate. We'll talk about points and opinion. None of it is with disrespect. So if you ask me, do I respect what Robbo put in for the club? 100%. That's not for debate. Pops, the same thing goes for Salah. And none of it is in a disrespectful light. It's we're fans. We're having conversation. If you feel like the conversation is beneath you as far as the level of conversations you have and when you have them, that's fair play. But I don't want you to do it's disrespectful to talk about it. Bro, they're football players. They get scrutinized by other fans. I'm not scrutinizing the guy.
We don't have to do that, bro.
We're all Liverpool fans having a convo. If you don't want to be a part of it, respectfully, that's fine as well. But don't make it look like I'm disrespecting the guy just by calling his name.
When you look at other fans, fans are going to diss all our players. So that's what a Liverpool thing for me to do is, I ain't going to diss them between live on air and say, oh, yeah, this guy all the time. Like for me, It's like when you used to go back in the days to the pub and stuff, and there'd be like United fans everywhere. You will big up all your players in front of them guys, even though you might think one or two of them are a bit iffy, but you still say they're the best. You know why? Because that's what you do in football. You know, hence why I won't jump on people like Robertson's back, because he's done his shift. So for me, whatever he gives us now is a bonus.
There's
That's how I look
definitely
at
been
it.
a drop off with Robbo. It's not like Robbo at his best lately, but I don't think he's finished yet. Like,
Yeah, but bro, he's been part of a defense that's only conceded 4 goals in the Premier League all season.
Yeah.
You understand my point? Yeah, he's started a lot of games
all season long, hadn't he, before Arsenal?
I think that also getting to what the topic at hand, more so what Zabir was saying about Robbo in general. I think why I wanted to be a part of Enz's show today, especially, and why I was, I guess, triggered by your comment yesterday, was because it wasn't like even the game that a lot of people are starting to, and the reason why a lot of this has become, I won't say headline news, but more of the main topic or a big topic, is because of his play against Arsenal and the fact that one of the best wingers in the game, one of the best right wingers in the game, had his moment against Robbo and made him look bad. Okay. And there's like, the pictures of him on the ground and Saka celebrating and everything that resonates. And I think that sometimes I've been calling it scapegoat FC, Zabiri. That's at least the term that I reference or call it. In that some players are put into this box, whereas they had 1, maybe 2 games in a new system or where they're playing a new position or whatever it is, and that gets deemed as, oh, they're finished. I'm not saying you're saying he's finished, but that gets termed as, oh, he's finished. And I don't think that that's the case with Robbo. Robbo is a player that is now being asked to not only return to being a more quote unquote traditional left back, but he's also being asked to return to a position that is adjusted to a different system. And therefore he's going to have to adjust in that retribute. So I think that if we had a larger, what's the word I'm looking for? A larger scale of games or a larger scale of games.
Wasn't an awful lot of rotation for Robbo under Klopp, was there? When Robbo finally came into the team, I mean, he played all the time, didn't he? And has played all the time. I mean,
right, he has played it quite good. Yeah.
Number of games, but he's played so many games, Robbo, that you do just wonder, has he played so many?
Well, that's what I was going to get at. That's what I was.
Fullbacks usually go on for 35 or 36. You know what I mean? And they can do that in good teams as well. Anyone.
That's the point I was going to raise to Zabiri and ask him for a comment back. In that there's the fullback position. You can see fullbacks go into their mid-30s. This is a player that, again, is 30 years old. I get that there are people that might have the PTSD of what they saw for Fabinho and the likes, and that's where they might be looking at it from as in the number of miles and the amount of time that's been put on the legs of Robbo, and the fact that he is playing international, which again is a concern for some, as being maybe that's where he needs to dial it back a little bit. But the fact of why I'm bringing up or the gist of what I'm trying to say is that I still believe that the performance level that we'll get from Robbo is still an exceptional one. And considering I don't think there's many left backs out there that produce a higher level than Robbo, even currently. And there's other intangibles that go into it as well, with his ability to be a team leader, his presence in the locker room, his ability to help on the pitch with others, and the ability to possibly even present things. And the last point, and this is my final point, Superior, is that, again, and I brought this up earlier on the other show, if there was anything wrong with what he is doing, you would see Slot make the change. Now, whether that comes this weekend or whether this is because of rotation, we'll figure that out by the oncoming games. But I think that the most notable thing when it comes to some of these players is that the main evaluator slot has chosen that these players are playing to the levels that he wants and is getting results from, whether it's Szoboszlai, whether it's Robbo, even the praise that he gave to Kwanzaa after hooking him at the end with 5 minutes left. I think there's a reason, there's a method to his madness, I guess you could say. And it's something that I think has to be weighed in when trying to put your own evaluation on the players too. Oh, I see he's on mute, so he might be handling something.
Yeah, no, I was waiting for you to finish respectfully. Okay.
Appreciate
that. And also 12. I don't think we were speaking a lot during the window. If we didn't, I miscounted. I apologize. Mm-hmm. So one of the few things that I'm focusing on and bringing to conversation to like panels like this, and wherever I go. And that's why I'm so selective in where I go now, because I'm not going anywhere where we can't have conversation.
Yeah,
and that's why JK, I was saying, we're Liverpool fans. So if you don't like it being aired, that's fine. We can always talk offline if you don't want to say certain things online. But we're just having a Liverpool conversation. Like, do you think I'm gonna take another team's left back over mine? You think I'm gonna say Saka is one of the best right winger? Hell no, I'm not saying that out of my mouth, Joe. You crazy? I'll never give Saka that credit. When it comes to Robbo, and we're Liverpool fans, we have to live with whether he's good enough or not. And one of the trends I've seen since I came in the YouTube space a couple of years ago is all of our players go from world class to shit. And I'm like, I don't like that. I like to see the drop off. I like us to unanimously agree, like, you know what? He's coming up off a few paces. We might need to account for that. Oh, you know what? Robbo ain't giving us 100 anymore. He's giving us a solid 75. We have to play to Robbo's 75. Now, the word carry is heavy. But if he's coming off the pace, but if he's coming off the pace, technically we're carrying him. Ain't we? If Salah lose pace on the wing and we have to put him through the middle, we're technically carrying him through the middle. So it's a bit triggering, but I just implore us to be a little bit more open-minded with the conversation to say, hey, if Robbo's not hitting 90 and he's only hitting 75, we can still win the league with Robbo at 75. I just don't want us to ignore the fact that he's 75 and wait till he's 45 to go, nah, man, he's finished, he's shit. Nah, we can still use him. We just need to know what level he's at so we can use him at that level. If we need to rotate him more to save him and preserve him at 75, okay, let's do that. That is the conversation I'm trying to have. I'm not trying to have, kicking his back and nitpick. So to my original point, if he fell off last season, it's okay if we're carrying him, but we're carrying him at his 80%. We're carrying him at 60%. There's nothing wrong with that because, like we all see, we have the best defense so far. But if he's 75 and we're trying to rely on him game in, game out, we're going to come up short, guys. We're smart enough to know that. So if he's coming up 75, Simi got to be able to pick the slack up. Virgil got to be able to pick the slack up. Curtis got to rotate over there. McAllister got to rotate over there. That's the footballing conversation I'm trying to bring and have. I'm not trying to have these narratives. I didn't start this conversation when Saka cooked. I started this conversation July 1st.
Last year he said, yeah.
I've been started these conversations. So when you're just catching the conversation, because everyone now is saying what I was saying before, I get lumped into that.
You're not saying that. You're saying
but
this is
but the point is, no one wants to have these conversations when I'm bringing them up. People just always write them off.
Can I ask you a question, Zibiri, real quick though? Then can I ask you a question? Then, if the case is that if you're looking at it as that we are carrying Robbo, then, and I've seen it because this is something I saw. I think Bernie might have mentioned it, and I think some of the chat is talking about this amongst themselves. Is there not an argument then that with the direction of the frame of thinking that you're using, we should have given up on Virgil when he was
that is a good point, 12, and you kind of shocked me. You kind of shocked me with the Virgil name, but I'll bring up no, but I'll bring a point to you that ties into that, right?
Okay.
What type of center back not every, I don't want to be disingenuous. The most fans are saying they wanted a left-footed centre back that can play on the left side. Who plays on the left side? Virgil. So even though no fan wants to come out bold-chested and say, get rid of Virgil, we're trying to find a guy to go in Virgil's position. So that's a bit odd. We want a left-footed guy that can play left center back, that's where Virgil plays, and that can play left back. So all the fans see what I'm saying, they just didn't want to say it. No fan wants to come out and say, replace Virgil, but all the fans, 12, and let me land, is saying, we need a left-footed center back. You know what my rebuttal to that was, Pano? We don't need a left-footed center back because we never needed one for 6 years. Why all of a sudden we need a left-footed center back that can play left-footed in the left back side and left back? The only reason they're saying that 12 is because they've given up on Virgil sneakily and they've given up on Robbo sneakily, but they don't want to say it
because they thought we were going to play inverted.
I thought.
People
I
thought
think.
we
It
were
was,
gonna
I
play
think.
inverted.
I think that's what I think personally.
I think it would have been. It's something I got called out for even mentioning this, but I mean, like, I was saying that let's move him back to his original position, which was right center back, because he came and played left center back for us.
Yeah, but 12, he's never played over there for us ever. So why are we gonna get a guy, stick the guy in there, move Virgil over? I think people didn't know Virgil was gonna get back to himself, and they just want to put that contingency in there. And I don't think they 100% believed in Robbo. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal. Because there's no need for a left-footed center back if we have a right-footed guy in there who's touted as one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay,
I would just say it's
I hear you
because
saying.
people thought we were going to play inverted with Trent inverted, so we need a back three with the guy on the left. The only thing I would say about Robbo is what I was saying, and I've been saying this at the start of the season, was that a lot of people were saying, "Oh, he's picking this guy, he's picking this guy. Why is he not doing this? Why is he not doing that?" And I said, "Well, I reckon it's because he doesn't trust some of these backups, right? This guy is playing all the time because he doesn't trust the next guy off the bench, right? And it's like Robbo this, Robbo that. To me, people are missing the point. It's Tsimikas. Tsimikas is the one who isn't good enough to step up and take over that Robbo role and give him enough time off to give him breaks. That's why Robbo is playing all the time. People think, oh, this guy...
No, I can see that. But wouldn't you agree that Timmy's having a better season this season? I'm not saying better than Robbo, or just saying a better season. Because Simi crosses this season look way more effective and dangerous than Robbo, even off the corners.
I want my defenders to defend first, and Robbo's a better defender than Simi. Like, Simi might be able to kind of match up to a degree with Robbo right now, but I just think sometimes the guy that isn't playing, it's because the manager doesn't fancy him, doesn't rate him. I think there's some people at this club, he didn't bring in who he wanted. He's got people that another manager had, some of whom were bought short term, some of whom were bought specifically for the previous manager to do certain things, and he doesn't rate some of these players. I think the VVD thing, I think that's why our tight squad has been used. That's, to me, is like one of the main issues. Robbo would probably not have to play week in, week out if we had somebody better than Simi. I'm sorry, Simi's good. I'm not saying he's trash, not saying he's crap. He's good. He's just good. That's all he is.
Can I ask you a question? So if Robbo is not playing week in, week out, that means he's not the starting left back then. So do you need a starting left back?
You just need two boys who are good enough to do the job. Get one in, one out. I don't really go for names on the back of the shirt so much. I don't care. Is he good enough? Can he do the job? Does he play for us? Cool. Get him in there. Everybody's time comes up. I just think some of the guys that aren't maybe playing a lot or whatever, it's just because the backups aren't what the manager would want. So
I agree with that point. But if the new guy comes in, is fresh enough to go week in, week out, we might go get a case where we're not seeing Robbo the same way we're not seeing Gomez. For me, I don't think it's fair to keep Robbo for that.
No, if Simi comes in and puts up a good game against Brighton because Robbo hasn't quite, cool, leave him in the team. If we're still racking up clean sheets, wins, I really don't care who's in the back.
Yeah, that's true. But I quickly want to say about Robertson, like, for me, he's like an F1 driver, you know. Back in the days, 100 miles per hour into everything. In every situation, we were just running there like a madman. And what's happened is Slot's sort of more, he slowed him down in that way. He's sort of saying to him, defend first, then you can attack later, where Klopp will be like, attack first, then defend. So that sort of change has sort of messed his head up, you know. But United away this season, for me, Robertson first half, our best player. So for me, seeing that change has been a bit of a culture shock to him, where he's not speeding up and down 24/7 like he used to. I think he can still do it, because I've seen him in glimpses running like a madman still. But I just feel like the manager's more telling him to stay at the back a bit more, you know. Like even Trent don't attack as much as he used to, you know. So for me, it's the manager sort of slowing him down as well. So he needs to get used to that.
That's a good observation.
I wanted to make sure, like, again, Zabir, the reason why I reached out is because I mentioned it. No one really, I wouldn't want you to think I was like trying to, like, you know, not give you an opportunity to like defend.
No, so it's 100% good conversation, man.
Yeah,
because even that last point,
this wasn't like
that last point is great from the other fellow there. Sorry, I didn't remember all your names, but that was a great point. The manager slowed it down. So now, is that going to be something that we should probably put on the board as a negative from Slot, not using the players in their best strength, slowing who needs to speed up, speeding up who needs to slow down, because that can have a knock-on effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be. It could be. But again, Zabir, I appreciate you hopping on the last minute. I drop a hat. I hit him up, and that's why I appreciate you. You're a proper Red, in my opinion. And the fact that you showed up and said your piece. We had a conversation, and that's what it is. You know, like I said, everyone's welcome to their opinions, and I wanted to make sure that you at least had the ability to voice it on the platform. That's why I want to make sure that it wasn't misstated, and that I do appreciate you.
Hey, 100%, man. I appreciate the conversations you do have. Hey, 12, can you do me one favor? If not, it's fine. We'll hold it against you. Mm-hmm. Could you not get carried away with some of the words me and since I've been saying? Because we do.
Good luck on that. Good luck on that.
Good shot in the air.
Yeah, Zuby, no chance. I'm dealing with this guy every single night, man. If you think he's going to start getting carried away words, that is not going to happen, dude.
Yo, no, I remember when 12 wanted to fight over some of the Fabinho comments, and then even the Nunes comments. And I was like, is there going to be a season where 12 just let some of this thing blow by? 12 is going to everything. I love it.
Yeah, it's like you'll hear the voice from like Taken. I'll be like, "Good luck."
Yeah. But I do owe you guys an apology, and I'll make the apology before I dip out, or I'll just stay in mute and just hear the rest of the convo. I apologize for using the word carried. When you guys elaborate on the word carried, it's you can't use carried on one of like your prolific players or legendary players. It doesn't come off right. You know what I mean? It's there's levels and then there's carry. You know what I mean? The word carry Rabo was a bit.
It's just carrying means someone else is doing your work for you because you're not.
No, it's dead weight. It's literally dead weight.
Yeah.
Dead weight is a bit of a stretch.
Appreciate. Look, you came in.
Yeah, I apologize for the dead weight. Hopefully, no one, book any ticket to come over here to retaliate.
No, I'm
glad. Dead weight.
I'm hopefully that now that you've cleared it up and said your piece, like, people understand exactly what it was that you meant. That's all. That was my prime concern, because I didn't want to be. We're all welcome to our opinions, so like I wanted to make sure that I heard you right and that I understood you right. That's why I wanted to make sure that you got on. But I appreciate you, man.
Great convo, man. Appreciate you guys. I'm gonna tune in still because I want to hear the cheeky.
Yeah. Tune in. Stay tuned in. We're gonna do some ratings here, and then we're also gonna talk about one or two other players that are out there that are kind of on the Scapegoat FC bandwagon here. So we'll see about it. But I appreciate you guys. Definitely, big up.
Take care, man. Happy Halloween, Zuby.
Bless, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, so the segue I guess we could do from that is and again, thank you, Sabiri, for joining us. And I appreciate the fact of that you guys were commenting. I'm going to bring up some of the comments from the chat. I know that some were certainly triggered a little bit. I think let's see. Robertson has this is from Abdul. He said Robertson has not been performing at his best in recent years, but he has been a respected player at Liverpool FC. However, his pace has declined, and it may be time for the team to consider rebuilding.
Very fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, like for me next season, bro. At the end of this season, like for me, I'm willing to see Robertson leave. You know, but he's here with us this season. He's got a job to do, him and Tsimikas, and say Gomez in that position. But they got a job to do. So for me, I'm not really gonna jump on any sort of mistakes they'll make or not playing up to their normal level. You know.
Norm says, to be honest, even when in rare games he has not played well, he has still showed his commitment and quality in moments. He is a world-class left back. Norm, I'm right there with you on that one. That's probably one of the major reasons why I've been so vocal in support of our Robbo. Bernie says, Klopp and Slot have changed their play in that they made left back and right back more defensive and haven't played them as high up the pitch, making those crosses that a lot of people are referencing about how he's not crossing the ball as much or as with consistency as much as what's the point?
Exactly, Bernadette. What I was saying, what Bernadette wrote there is like he's sort of been switched roles, not 100%, 100 miles per hour forward. He's more like position yourself as a left back, and we'll take it from there. So that's
yeah. This is actually Beijing Pops LFC says this actually sounds like how people describe Mo. Tell me, I know that's certainly true.
One season wonder type comment.
Yeah. And anything under? I already brought that one up. Let's see. KJ says injuries have just impacted him, but I don't see the drop off everyone is raving about. He goes on to say injuries and adjusting to a new system is what he is seeing as having impact.
Bang on, exactly that.
Norm says, also in Brian's defense, Norm thinks he may mean that us fans don't carry passengers in terms of our rating of a player, and most would agree Robbo has been incredible for us over his whole time for us. Agreed. I have a question from Abdul.
Finally, somebody's standing up for me in the chat. It's about time. I'm sick of getting bullied over here.
And Abdul's right about this. Discussion, viewpoints, and constructive criticism are necessary on this platform while respecting other people's opinions about Liverpool FC. We are Liverpool FC fans. This Abdul, that's why you're here, brother. So I have these conversations. That's why, like I said, if I could have not reached out to Zabiri and just taken the comment and said the comment, not provide the context that he provided for us, and then try to just railroad him. I wasn't going to do that. I was going to allow for him to vocalize his point and for us to give our counters. Antra says, the year we went Champions League final and lost to Madrid, Robbo was on smoke. Then the season after, on the season after when we won it, the Prem winning season, he was on smoke. Robbo has been vital to Liverpool's success. Yeah, that's where I see it too.
Like I feel sorry for Zubi's kids because like when they come home with a 99 on a maths test, he's gonna be
he's like. What? I'm tired of carrying
you. got 100 last season. What are you got a one season wonder over here? One season wonder maths kid or something? I'm not carrying you for the rest of my life. Yeah.
No more carrying you. No more dead weight. No more dead weight around here.
98 in French. What the hell?
Yeah. But yes, I thought that we all had our different reasoning as to why Robbo got to play in the Brighton matchup. Some of us thought maybe it was just the sheer fact that it's Robbo wanting to get right back out there and try again. It wouldn't be the first or possibly not even the last time that you see a player as a starter get consecutive starts, whether it's, a league game, a cup match, maybe even international play, and then come back and just go right back into the starting lineup for us. So there are those that thought or think that this might be a telltale sign that this is now going to be Simicast's big opportunity to play against Brighton at home and possibly solidify himself as being the choice left back for us going forward. I don't know if that's the case, but I mean, I think it's more rotation personally, but we'll definitely see.
Can you just quickly bring up the second last comment in the chat there, Jimmy's comment?
From Jimmy's comment? Yes.
Yeah.
Robbo, Messi.
Yeah, I was going to mention that before. That was
he was every one of us that night. Yeah,
yes.
Robbo was all of us that night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
that image of it. That image of him doing that, still of him doing that, should be put up somewhere.
The lack of
that puts so much
was beautiful.
Yeah. If you call it like what do they call it, like money in the bank, that put a lot of money in his bank.
But that was like two worlds in one photo. Like it was a £7 million player against the best guy in the whole world. Rich as anything, expensive, whatever. So for me, that, and who was on top there? It was Robertson, of that situation. So that shows me that was an important picture. That like it meant a lot,
He had a little clash with Suarez that night as well, didn't he, Robbo?
That's what you need, Robbo, in them type of games. United away, he was wicked in that game. So for me, sometimes you need them type of players.
Yeah, he's been a massive part of the side. And you need it. Like Adrian Bailey was saying, 4 of the players were world class, and Trent's one of them. But Robbo hasn't been that much under Trent as a left back. Like as a left back, he's been as good now as Trent's been a right back, hasn't he?
Oh, I forgot about that bit. I was wondering where Mane and Firmino were in that list of world class players.
Only Trent, I was thinking we had Ali, Virgil, and Mo got in.
Mo,
yeah. He did mention something. He knows about Sabiri knows about my
No, but in that lineup, he said there was only 4. He left out Fabinho, Firmino, and Mane.
Yeah, my commitment to us talking about Bobby and wanting to see him in a role. Hey, you know what? We talk about this 10 role. I mean, like I was one of the loudest cheerleaders, I guess, to see Bobby in a 10 role and seeing if that could provide us some type of maybe stretching of his career with us. But
after he moved from the false 9, you mean? Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
When we had Nunez up front, and when we'd made that real transition of like Bobby was just going to be that be a backup in essence. I was thinking that put him in that 10 role. I mean, the guy's got amazing ability on the ball, as in dribbling and ball control. Passing is like out of this world when it comes to
Slot would have him.
Yeah.
I think Slot would have him all day.
Yeah.
Right now. Like a fit for
Brings defensive prowess.
Even 31.
Yeah.
That's not every game, like you're saying. A bit more off the bench, on the bench. An Elliot, Bobby, doing what Dom does. Dom comes in. I think Bobby left. Bobby was only just 31 when he went to Saudi. I mean, like he had offers apparently from Barca, Real Madrid. He had miles left in him. He had,
But it's about that thing. Sorry, I was going to say, Brian. It's about the reason why, and I think you verbalized this point before too. And it's like and I think Pops has said it too. Pops was on the show and he mentioned it. It's something that I said time and time again, is that this new coach is going to bring out different things from these players. We're going to see different aspects of their game. We're going to see them in different roles. We're going to see them possibly in enhanced roles that they already play in the positions that they play. But I think that also we're going to see a possible emergence of some of these players, not because Slot is a better coach than Klopp. I'm not trying to go down that line. What I am saying is that it's an opportunity for a different approach to get out something from these players, and whether it's Simicast, or whether it's Gomez, or whether it's Nunez, Darwin Nunez, whether it's Dom, we're going to see these players be put into positions where they're going to be asked to do different things, and we're going to see if they can apply whatever they're learning on the training pitch to the actual game pitch.
I'm eager to see Elliott's return, because he made a difference in a few games last season, didn't he? When he was brought off the bench, he won us a couple of games, didn't he, from off the bench?
Yeah, no, that was during the Klopp era. But I mean, like, hey, even the preseason, I think in the preseason you saw it. Elliott was doing some really good work, and
with him being out alongside Jota and Chiesa, we're not left with an awful lot. So I am keen to see him return, especially if Chiesa can't get his fitness together. You know what I mean? We need the extra bodies, don't we?
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. So let's get into these ratings. Let me give a precursor to this. The players are in no particular order, and I didn't put them in order. I didn't get a chance to actually put the ratings for the players. So let me double actually. So I have the lineup, or I have them in the lineup, but I don't necessarily have them in going goalkeeper, left back.
Yeah,
just so you know. Okay. So let me give this.
You're lucky there's no pedantic people in your chat or on your panel.
Oh yeah.
Pick you up on things like that. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, Dara, I don't know where you were earlier on. You would have had I'm sure you would have had some fun with Zubi.
Dara would have. No, we don't need anyone with firearms getting hurt out.
This is a gun-free zone.
Especially Zaveri's got his own firearms, so yeah.
Oh crap! All right.
Yeah, gun-free zone for sure. So let's see. I got this ready to go. And
so Zubi's walking around our arm. Is he? That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah, Zaveri's. Yeah, he's he's not the state he's in isn't exactly a gun-friendly state, but he's
in South Boston.
No,
he's just outside South Boston.
I thought he was in New York City.
The last time I heard him talking to someone, he was in Massachusetts. He said he was just outside Boston.
I think he does stuff in Boston. Yeah, if he's in Massachusetts, that's a different story. Yeah.
No, I just mean someone asked him what part he was in a comment. I
got you.
He was, not southy or anything, but he's saying like kind of south of Boston, I think.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't know he's from. I thought it was in New York, but I guess if you're in the chat, give us a shout. He's got to. Hopefully, one day he'll be on the roll call. He can give a shout out to us to tell us where he's representing from there. But all right, let's just get into this, people. Let's start it off with Cody.
Good start. Yeah.
Good start. Let's get it on. Let's get back onto some good vibrations. Let's get into the good vibrations. Cody definitely brought us some good vibrations yesterday. What would you say on Cody? Bonkers 8. Okay. I thought I might get a little higher than that. So you gave him an 80. Okay. Brian, what would you give Cody?
I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, it's gonna have to be high. Even though League Cup, Brighton, yada yada.
Yeah.
I thought someone would play. Yeah, so it can't be a 10 or anything. I'll be keeping my 10s. But 92.
Okay. Okay. JK? Oh, JK's on.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did buzz.
He's back. Yep.
Cody Gapco, I think, bro, you're 90 for him.
Okay.
The first goal, that's like 100 out of 100. Anyway, but
unbelievable.
for me, I'll give him a 90. I think if he got a hat trick, 100, but 90, I'll give him a 90. One, well done. I think ever since the Euros, the guy's been on his best form. Hence why I don't mind seeing him starting. And we've already had.
I mean, like, you know what's funny about it too, JK? This comment by Baz is spot on.
Spot on, Baz. Spot on.
Like,
yeah,
as in,
he's only.
You want to talk about the fact that Lamptey has incredible pace. He is certainly exceptional going forward. He's a problem. Very tiny, but like small guy, but he's still like he presents a lot of pace on the pitch. And once he gets moving, it's tough to stop. And he was on that side that Robbo had to deal with. So again, it was a case where he was going to have to deal with a speedster, and it goes to show you that
I'd say he means more, especially on that second goal, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Was it when he literally Lamptey just took a half a second, and Cody goes, "Too long, baby.
Yep.
I'm taking that ball. I'm taking that ball."
Yep.
And Lamptey's a little guy, but if you've ever played against those little guys, they can be really strong, and when they get their they can be hard to get off. Those little guys, they're more core strength kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
very like Mo. Like
bullied him. Look at Messi. Messi's fucking tiny.
Messi, another good example.
I mean, like he needed growth hormones to actually, like, if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have ever existed in the world. So of football, he would have been 5'1" or something.
Yeah.
Tearing it up in 5-a-side somewhere in Sao Paulo or in Buenos Aires. But anyway.
The reason why I brought it up is exactly what you're saying. I'm just saying that there's very few fullbacks that have a complement of being both defensive and offensive.
Would you take him? Would you have Lamptey in the squad? I would, just
because if people are arguing, if people are up in arms about what Saka did to Robbo, I don't. Can you imagine what Saka would do if we had Lamptey as a left back or a right back?
No, I just love him as a kind of off the bench option. I play him on the right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can
understand.
Pure
pace. Like he runs.
Me, bro, that conversation was like, for me, 2-3 years ago, I was saying, now's the time to get this lad, he's good. But I don't know what he's been doing. He hasn't been really regular for them throughout the years, Probably always, he's been injured quite a lot as well.
Yeah.
That's probably been his downfall, But for me, quality player, but I think that time's gone. I would have gotten him back. I would have gotten him back in the days. Yeah.
Didn't he play for Atalanta? Didn't he have a stint with them too? Or no? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
he went out on a few ones. I don't think he went to Atalanta. Don't know.
I'll have to double check. Lee, what was your rating for Cody?
Yeah, 90. 90,
okay.
It's a good number, yeah. Nice and round, 90. It's a 9 out of 10 for Cody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, again, Frimpong, another good player, another very good player going forward, excellent player. But it's what the conversation was yesterday. I'm just reading Abdul's comment. It's the conversation that I had earlier with Enz. Nori is a good player going forward. But is he going to bring you the complement that you need back as a defender? Possibly not. And I think that, like a lot of these players that we're all talking about, look, I would love to see Alphonso Davies on this team, but Alphonso Davies does not have the defense, nor is he interested in providing the defense that a Robbo brings to this team. Just isn't.
No, Nori's a winger playing as left back. He's even Wolves fans are like, no, man, he can't defend.
Yeah.
Great in a 3-5-2 or something like that, but you don't do that.
Yeah. All right. So for Cody, let's
Gotta be at least
go
a
with
90.
we're gonna have to go with at least a 90 on him. So let's do a 91. Just a hair over 91. All right.
Yeah, I gave him a shade over tonight just because of the quality of the two finishes.
Oh, that's I'm only knocking down a little bit because A, he should have had a hat trick. B, he should have had a better. He should have had at least 2 goals. He should have had 2 goals and an assist. But that assist that pass that he gave was not a good pass. I'm sorry, it just wasn't, and that was unfortunate. But he
still was on the clock when he got subbed.
What's that?
Oh, early enough. Not super.
Oh,
early.
what was the timing on this?
70-ish. 70-ish, I think.
Yeah, that's what I still remember, about 68 or something like that, maybe around that times.
He came out on the 71st minute.
70,
yeah. Because he was looking up thinking, fuck it. Because the camera's on him when they saw the sub coming up, they focused on Gakpo, and you could see him looking up. It was one of those classic moments where they actually caught him looking up and seeing his number coming up.
Yeah,
he saw his natural facial reaction. He's like, fuck it. I was on a bloody hat trick and everything. Typical Slot.
Yeah.
He's going to steal so many hat tricks.
He loves
He's going to steal so many hat tricks, this coach. He's going to steal so many hat tricks. He really is.
I hope not.
Yeah. No, I just mean that he's going to bring players off. You're on 2, don't care. You're coming off. You're coming off. Don't care. Oh, good shout, this guy. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. Kind of forgot about him.
Tyler Morton.
Chat.
JK, what are you going to rate Tyler Morton at?
Help us out, chat.
Yeah, definitely help us out, chat, with this one. Tyler Morton.
I think he did okay. You didn't really recognize he was actually playing, if you understand my point. Like, he was there, but I didn't realize he was there. So he weren't making mistakes then. But for me, I'll give him a 65.
Okay.
I didn't really notice him playing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly what I
give you some stats on him too, since no one knows. Plays 64 minutes. You know what's kind of crazy about everyone saying this and that? Tyler Morton didn't notice him. He got the assist to Cody. That is the assist.
Back. Yeah, it was Cody kind of. Back. It was the pass for the.
Got the assist. He's still an assist.
No, I know. But no, just saying. No, I'd be with JK. It was kind of like, he was out there.
I get you.
Just right in the middle. Didn't do anything too right. Didn't do anything too wrong. So I'll just go 60. Fine with me. 60.
45 touches, had 81% for his passing, had 1 key pass, 1 out, 2 for the long balls. Was 3 out of 7 for his ground duels. Only lost the ball 8 times and committed 1 foul, had 1 clearance, 1 block shot. Oh wow, 1 clearance, 1 block shot, 2 interceptions, 3 tackles, and was dribbled past twice.
But just to clarify, on top of that, I think it's because also not that he was anonymous. It's just that there was so much else going on. You had Gakpo scoring goals, you had the Kwanzaa stuff, you had the attention was probably taken, which is good for him as well. Just got to have a nice, quiet, tidy game in midfield.
Yeah. Looks like
Lee,
50, 55 from KJ. Yeah, Lee, what was your score for Tyler?
I'll give him a 75.
Okay.
Oh, nice score.
I like it. How about for you, Irish?
It was a great start for him. Oh, I said I'd give him a 60.
Oh, you have 60. Okay, okay. So 60. I think JK gave him a 65. I think, right?
55.
55.
65.
There's another
65 for JK gave him. Yeah, 55 from KJ.
Oh no, it's in the chat from KJ.
Oh yes. 75. I originally gave him a 70. So
63, 65.
63. Okay. I'll put him 60 somewhere. Make him look at 65. I guess it's like fair. Our votes, our 70 votes kind of came outliers.
That's the full debut bonus.
Yeah, there you go.
You get me?
Nice pointing game. He's got good pointing there. That's nice.
There
He's
you
got the
go.
arm at the correct angle. You know,
That's
it looks
classic
forceful
Henderson.
enough. Very good.
He knows
Henderson.
where to go, doesn't he? He knows
Yeah.
where to go.
Yeah, he's saying
Learn from the best.
Knows where
Learn
to
from the
go.
best.
Yeah.
He knows where to go. Or he's telling them.
He's
He's telling
saying,
him
look at
Quanto where
my
to go.
stats. He's going, look at my stats, people.
Over there. That's where you want to go.
He's telling.
All right, how about
Quanto
for
where to
someone
go,
that's
you know?
more controversial, Dominic Stabasalai, player that started out up top for us
Who's up?
in
Lee.
a format
Lee went
that
last.
we
Lee.
play, a unique format that we play. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a 4-4-2, came a 4-2-4 at times.
I'll give him a 68.
68. All right, JK.
Another guy I never really noticed. I'm gonna give him a 60.
Okay. How about for you, Brian?
Yeah, again, same as what JK is saying. Kind of not the standout performer in the game, just did his job. Tried his best, you know, with the Gakpo thing. You know, he was, like I said, he probably, through no fault of his own, you know, muddled that up a bit by trying to get involved.
There's no way he was going to. He would have to.
He was probably thinking I was going to shoot. I'll just take the defender's eye line away. I'll distract the goalkeeper. But he definitely probably wasn't expecting Gakpo to lob some weird kind of chip pass at him that he had to try and flick in.
Right.
So I'm not going to give him any, you know, slack for that. Yeah, just kind of like Morton, and like JK said, just he was there and he tipped. It's just other players stood out more. So didn't do anything super right or anything. Definitely didn't do anything wrong too much. So same as what 65, but most people are saying 60, 65. So yeah. I give it 65. Happy enough with that.
Looking at KJ. I see you, KJ.
Dom Sloz.
Okay, so I had him at a 64. I think that's pretty fair. I think people are gonna learn to appreciate Dom for what he's trying to offer our club. I don't think he's a false nine, but I mean, like, considering he was playing that false nine role yesterday. That's what I was suggesting. You know, with that kind of lineup, that's what we would see, and that's what we got.
He'll probably get a goal sooner or later. He's due a goal.
Yeah.
Oh, he could do it one. He could absolutely do it one.
All right, so we got Dom at 64. What are we going to give Curtis then? His forward partner played. Again, we played like a 4-2-4, and then like Curtis would come back and help. I think it was more reliant on Dom doing that, but Curtis was definitely involved in the game. What we're giving him, Curtis is getting 72 from Bonkers, 65 from Baz, a 60 from Bernie, 65 from Jimmy, okay, 70 from KJ. Okay. Brian, we'll start off with you this time. What would you rate Curtis? Cujo, as I like to say.
Yeah, again, didn't stand out massively. Just sort of like we were doing our job really well, and it just kind of went a little bit. Well, we weren't. They were getting chances. No, dude. Not his best. Just a bit anonymous to me. I'm not saying he was anonymous in the game. I'm just saying, to me, it didn't really stand out again. So probably what the other boys got, I gave them 60s and 65. I give Curtis 60. Yeah, 60.
Okay. How about for you, JK?
Another guy not really noticed. He did okay, Curtis, you know. But I didn't really notice him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give him a 60.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Lee?
65.
All right. A little Matthew McConaughey. And
It's
we're
like an
gonna
auction,
drop
isn't it? Like an auction, man. I went 60, he comes out with 65. Oh god, I have to go 70 now.
Yeah, you can have him. You can have him.
You can have him, Lee.
You can have him.
All right. How about for another player that was some people have him being questionable as to whether he should get the start, especially since Cody has been in such exceptional play. He's been exceptional play early on in the season. He's kind of cooled off a little bit with his play, but he hasn't really been getting starts as well. He's been playing more of a reserved role lately.
Got a break,
but sealed the game, had the game winner technically. So you can say that about Lucho. Got us our game winner. What are we doing with Diaz? Sounds like almost like a movie title. But what do we do? What do we do?
What do we do with Diaz?
Yeah, you know.
Oh, that's too funny. And the front cover of the film is like a car boot is open, you know,
Yeah.
and he's there inside it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
His goal was good.
66. Baz 77. Jimmy is 72. And I like that you guys are at least giving him a couple extra points, maybe because of that, the importance of the goal that he did, despite the fact that he didn't have a phenomenal game before that, but at least he did have some impact. He had his impact mattered when it mattered the most. Brian, what was your rating on him?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one, isn't it? Because he wasn't brilliant out on the right. But again, look, I think this Brighton team was a good game. You know, it was an attacking game. So it wasn't like we're on top of them. He was brilliant. He got his goal cutting in off the left. So he switched over. He done his thing. Yeah, I don't know, actually. I really don't know. Goal counts for something.
Game winning goal.
68. Well, he didn't score the 2-2. He didn't score the 2-2. 68.
Yeah.
68. I'll give him a 68.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Baz with a 77. Yeah, I don't. Baz is saying off the right.
Lucho's goal was the third goal, by the way. But yeah, I'm just telling you.
But it wasn't 2-2. So, I just he's saying he had something to prove after his show against Arsenal, but they're on the right doesn't suit him. I know Baz, like, I've seen him play well on the right. Obviously, it's not his preferred shout, but I've seen Diaz play well on the right a few times. He does it for Colombia sometimes as well, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think he can do well on the right. I think it's definitely, like you said, it doesn't suit him 100%. It's not his. He likes to be on the left and cutting in, but a couple of times I haven't been at all disappointed when he's been out on the right. You know, using his natural foot, can still cut in as well a little bit.
Yeah, there was some good displays when Salah got injured last season. He went out there.
Yeah, he was always one of those ones where I wouldn't wish it, but I was kind of like, it'd be really interesting to see if for some reason we had to play him for 8 games on the right. You know, that kind of thing. So you don't want Salah, but what would it look like? That's one thing I was, what would it look like?
Creates a different problem for the fullback, doesn't it?
You know? Yeah, I think he's fairly confident. Yeah, definitely not a Salah, but
Okay, Jesus con Lucho. Okay, so the next player on our list is, drum roll, Mr. Robbo. What would you rate Robbo's performance yesterday?
Can we get Zuby back on the Zuby?
Yeah, Zuby, you can.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you can. You can mail in, or you can text me, or you can send in. Put your mail in vote for Robbo yesterday. What are we rating him at? What are we rating him at?
Who's up?
65 for me. Oh no, that's for DS. Sorry. KJ gave him a 60, 57 from Bonkers. Oh, here they come. Let's get them.
Like for me, if I keep on going back to Kwanzaa, if Kwanzaa didn't make them 2 mistakes and we won 3-0, it would have been a clean sheet. And I think defensively we played okay by them 2 mistakes. They had, like you were saying yesterday about the stats, they had how many attempts on goal? 19 or something crazy first half, Brighton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but we didn't leak goals. You know, like we leaked 2 homemade goals, like we did it ourselves. You know. So for me, Robertson, I'll give him a 65.
Okay. Robbo played better in this than the last 2 games. The fast pace suits him. 71 from Baz. Wow. Lee, what was your rating on Robbo?
I'd give him 67.
Okay. Brian?
Yeah, like the boys were saying, it wasn't actually last night's game that was the issue, was it?
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like, oh God, he had a shocker last night. I just kind of thought he did okay, didn't he? But I'll go with that. Yeah, 65.
Okay. I was going to go lower, but I'm going to say, all right. We settling on a 66. Give him an extra point for his one-hit wonder.
It'd rather be a one-hit wonder than a no-hit nobody, right?
Yeah.
Bang on.
Hang on.
Like for me, his goal was class. Diaz is the guy before Robertson, by the way. I didn't mention that. His goal was like
Diaz's goal was definitely.
Yeah, that was great.
Nutmeg finish.
Beautiful.
Can't get better than nutmeg finish.
See that?
To nutmeg a goalkeeper is not easy. That's not easy.
It's not easy. But the thing is, what I liked about him and Gapco scoring yesterday, he's showing that our front attack can handle whoever we're playing, whoever's on the pitch will still get goals. So it was good to see them 2 get goals yesterday.
Well, how about
Giggity gak.
Yeah, let's get on with JQ, Brian. JQ.
Oh dear. I'm gonna hand it over.
Where are we gonna go with this rating?
We're either starting or finishing with JK. So
yeah. JK, why don't you start it off?
Okay. Like for me, Kwanzaa yesterday, half asleep. Like, but probably that's the worst game he's had for us yesterday, you know. But I just hope instead of like, you know what footballers like when they're young, like they have this attitude. As soon as they get a bit of first team, a taste of first team football, they sort of get this energy about them. You know, this proudness, this arrogance, whatever it is. They're thinking, you know what, I'm with the big boys now. And I think Kwanzaa suffered from that. And then as soon as Kanate replaced him at Ipswich, that was probably the biggest slap in the face he'll ever get in football. That was big, you know. Even like social media was jumping on that story. Look at Kwanzaa, he got taken off. You never really replace centre backs at half time. you always sort of replace attackers if you're going to do a sub.
Oh yeah.
So replacing him is sort of
replacing him at 5 minutes left in the game.
and like for me that was needed, bro. I just felt like yesterday's game, Kwanzaa was capable of doing something again that's going to get us a 3-3, then go to penalties. You know,
Wow.
I just thought to wrap this game up, Kanate coming on was like a godsend. You know, as soon as he slopped with the Kanate on the side, I was like, yo, this guy can read my thoughts, you know. So for me, I think it was the right move. So I'm going to give Kwanzaa probably the lowest mark I've ever gave a player, 20.
You.
Whoa.
That's for playing each half, 10 each.
Sit down, Coco. Coco, sit down. It's fine. It was just a 20.
It's
okay.
a joke, bro.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. We're having a calm
Okay, I'll give him a 30.
Yeah, we're having a calm chill.
20.
Oof.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. I
Lee.
feel bad. Like maybe he
Lee,
just
come
took, maybe he's just taking my bold. We had to do bold statements or bold predictions. Maybe he just took. Maybe it was just too much weight to honor my bold prediction that he would be someone that holds down that center spot and does well this year. I still have faith in you, Kwanzaa.
No, for me, he's potentially our best player out the whole youth. Like him, Bradley.
Yeah.
For me, Kwanzaa's the best. That's how I think. Just yesterday's game.
You know what's funny about it is that I don't think he was having up until that moment. I don't think he was having that bad of a game, to be honest with you. But
I think them sort of mistakes sort of take over whatever he did in the rest.
Yeah,
of the game.
yeah, totally. No, totally. I mean, like people have said it time and time again. You know, as a defender, doesn't matter about getting it right 9 times. It's about getting it right 9 out of 10 times. It's about getting it right 10 times because that one time that you don't could be the
Toronto,
it could be the momentum killer.
But for me, he's a quality player, and I know one day he's going to be a centre back like Virgil, sort of. It can be like a Virgil. So I just think the only thing he needs to sort out in his game is his mindset. Like physically sound, he can read the game, he can do a lot of things. You know, he's quick, he can pass. Like his long range passing has got better as well.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm under. Oh yeah, as long as go ahead, finish your point. I apologize.
No, just like for me, just that attitude, you know. But saying that, I've seen him on the sidelines in a lot of games where he's actually celebrating goals now in the last few weeks. You know, he went through a phase. Remember, he didn't celebrate goals.
You have to do that. You have to be doing that. No sulky.
Yeah, I ain't got time for sulky players, bro. That's one thing I can't stand. Is sulky players. You know, like come on. At the end of the day, we want you to do well. It ain't like we're against you, Kwanzaa. You know, so why don't you give that attitude to other people? Maybe I'm reading it wrong and stuff.
No, it can be contagious. The wrong. That's what I said about like, you know, it's important about having the right type of demeanor in the locker room because that
a lot of players' careers have gone downhill because of their demeanor. I know more than you. I'm better than you. And then what happens? They end up at the lad we got from Hull in the Andy Robertson deal. He's retired. Yeah, he's done now. So we don't know what goes on with these players' minds. What do they think of themselves and stuff? Keep your feet on the ground. That's why I got big respect for Robertson. He does give it loud sometimes on videos. He's cheeky and stuff. Like he's full, like he's got this energy about him. But he deserves to do that. You know what I mean?
I just bring up Bernie's point because he says he will learn more with us than go on. I think I agree with that completely. I think that
100%.
You know, being it helps, albeit to go and get the playing time. I'm not disputing that, but I've always been my philosophy has always been I'd rather see a player stay with us if they're going to possibly have an impact on the season at some point. And also because there's no better place to learn the system than to be on the training pitch learning the system. You know, you're going to be up against when you do the inner squad scrimmages, you're going to be up against some of the best competition that you can find out there. So, you know, it's worthy of being still with the team to get that experience.
And playing
Brian.
like Virgil there, he can watch him train every day with him. Virgil must have gave him a lot of advice, you know.
I'm sure
I
he
think
has.
Virgil's that type of guy.
I think Joe
He would have.
Gomez has. I think Joe
Yeah, I
Gomez
think
has.
all of them have. Even Kanate, even maybe, you know.
Maybe.
Even though they're going for that one spot, I think they sort of help each other in their game. I think Virgil's the big guy. He's the one who sort of might have helped Kwanzaa a lot. And I hope he helps him in that way of keeping his feet on the ground and concentration levels. It's all about concentration levels when you play centre back. So as soon as you lack that bit of concentration, what happens? You score own goals. You let goals in.
What was your rating for him, Brian?
Oh, Jarrell, poor Jarrell. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things in football at the moment is this narrative. I hate the word narrative in football. I really want to go back and kill the guy that introduced it to the lexicon. I hate the word, but this, the condolences thing, where he dropped Kwanzaa out of the team, he's that whole condolences thing. Then he comes back, he gets slapped down, he gets his start in the first game, gets subbed off at halftime, comes on. Like this is a football fable for the ages. Like this is a learning curve that very few people have ever gone on in the public eye. If you know what I'm saying, this guy has had it all. He's gone from being taking Kanate's spot and publicly kind of slapping him down a little bit to having exactly the same thing done back to him by the player. I just think this intrigues me, this whole little story and timeline, and how he deals with it. Because I'm with JK. It would be the best thing for him. You know, it's like with the Zuberi test, it's like there's no point me giving him 80% every week just because I know he's going to come good in the future. If he does a 20 if he gets 20, he's getting 20 to show him that he's not all that good. He's not that. He needs to bulk up sometimes. And this is what can happen. So I'm really intrigued to see how this whole thing plays out because I do still think he is a great player for the future. But last night, I don't know what way I had to step out there. I don't know what way the chat went, but I'll just give him a straight 50 because he was okay, like you said, until that first mistake. But until that first mistake, really, there was nothing, you know. But yeah, is it generous? Okay, I'll give him a 40. I'll give him a 40. I'll give him a 40.
Don't talk yourself out of it. Yeah.
No, I just want to stay in JK's good books.
Nah, bro. But for me, Kwanzaa is definitely number one out of all the youth players. My number one favorite guy to make it big time.
Do we have another young centre back?
Not really, bro. Not with us.
We don't have another young. Like we have the young keepers. We have Bradley, and I don't think we have a centre back prospect.
Not really.
No. Yeah, there is. There is.
There's that one guy though, but he's not really getting in it. Like we don't have one in the squad like a Neoni that's on the bench kind of thing.
Oh yeah, like not like that.
He's going to be our next guy. That guy, you know.
No.
He's.
But Kwanzaa came out of the blue, bro. I believe Kwanzaa. It all timed out well with our injuries. I think it's sort of like him and Bradley with Klopp. I reckon it was sort of lucky he got game time, and Klopp must have seen something in him to say, you know what, this lad's great. I'm going to start him in games. You know, and it was already underway with Klopp. So for me, if Klopp said he's a top player, I'm starting him next to Virgil. What can we say, really? You know, and like for me, top player. Bad game yesterday.
Yeah,
it's just bad
100%
bad game.
Top player.
It's about. I think it's with youth players. It's more about how they bounce back, how they internalize it, how they respond from it, and what they do. But yeah, the boy I'm trying to think of is Amara Nalo. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Nialo, the guy that we got with we bought Neoni in the same summer. Last summer we got Neoni and that guy Nialo. Yeah, we paid money for both of them. I think we got Neoni from Leicester.
They both came the same summer. He was from West Ham. West Ham.
That's it. Yeah, picking up the young talents kind of thing. And Neoni is, like we said at the start of the year, didn't we? We're talking about things we'd like to see this season.
I think he's Nalo is like 17, I think, or something like that. 16, 17, maybe 18. It might be 17 or 18 years old, something like that.
Yeah, we were talking about the start of the season where we
there's
talking
there's another guy too.
he was one of them.
No, we
You only
haven't
get
seen him. We haven't seen him, but he has Nalo has his partner on the youth academy team. Someone in the chat might want to help me out.
Is it Pennington? Someone put the name Pennington.
Carter. Yeah, Carter Pennington. That's his name. Carter Pennington.
Carter Pennington. Lee, you're gonna love that name. Carter Pennington.
It's a doozy, isn't it?
Yeah, he sounds like a bad guy from Sherlock Holmes or so. That's an old Carter Pennington. The evil Carter Pennington. Wow. That's a classy name, that is.
Yeah. And he's a young centre back, is he?
Yeah, apparently so.
He's center. Yeah, he's center back. And then there's another guy too. His name is Carter Pennington, Nalo, and
he's more of an evil American industrialist than Carter Pennington. Yeah. Carter. If it was Arthur Pennington, he'd be English. He'd be evil English. Carter Pennington, that's what an American can't stand the thing.
The other guy is
the sides this season. Like I was watching the youth sides last season because I still had the LFC TV. Like, and they always cover, the youth sides. Obviously, I was watching the youth sides, but like I haven't got it this season, so I don't know like who our players are. Like under 21 or under 18 at centre back now this season.
Do we have any young like North American, like I mean USA American kids or Canadian kids in the academy? Yeah. Anybody in the academy? Do we?
Absolutely.
Any prospects from USA? Cool.
Yeah, they have a big prospect from USA that plays. He's someone I'm excited that once we get him, he plays for our youth academy, but his dad was a former player too. Figueroa.
Figueroa.
He plays for
Figueroa.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah. Maynard Figueroa is the guy that used to play for Wigan.
His dad played, and he plays, but he's super talented. His dad, I think his dad did,
Yeah, but his dad.
But he plays now for the U.S. men's.
Or Ecuadorian. Yeah, Figueroa is.
He might have been. He's American.
Yeah. But the kid is American. Yeah, the kid is American. But Figueroa, I think he was. No, but I just think he was like I think he was like the first Ecuadorian or something to play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So obviously he's moved to the US and his kids are US now. But yeah, when he was at Wigan, it was like because they were kind of good at that, bringing in random South Americans.
He brought some really good players in Wigan.
So it was like the first Paraguayan to ever play, the first, a few of them were at Wigan.
Yeah.
Maynard Figueroa, that's another great name.
Figueroa. Yeah, that's a good one. Go figure. That's right. He is a talent. He's a real talent. He scored like 5 goals or something like that in the game. He's a striker. He's a
winger. Oh, striker, cool.
He's a forward. He's a number 9 for us, or at least for the U17s. But yeah, he's a talent. He's a definite talent. I'm excited to see what his progress is going to be. Get himself an American on the team would be nice. How about next is another player that kind of got overlooked. It's kind of interesting because I know people are so mindful of the defensive play of Robbo. Then you move on to Connor, who definitely is just returning from injury or from something. I don't know if it was injury or it was a personal matter, but we haven't seen him in a while. They haven't really told us what it was. But it was good to see him back out there. It was an opportunity to see him get some minutes under the legs. Connor Bradley. Go ahead, Lee. You're laughing. I don't know.
I was laughing at Maynard's wine gums at Red Armchair support.
I got you.
Yeah, Bradley. I'll give Bradley. 3 years. 71.
71.
We'll
All right.
back. Yeah, we'll just see him back.
Brian, what would you give? What would you give Bradley?
Yeah, nice to see him just basically, like you say, pop back up out of nowhere. So obviously it wasn't an injury, because we know he had that horrible circumstance last season.
His father, yeah.
Yeah, so it seemed like nobody. He's not here. That's all. So it definitely wasn't an injury. So good to see him straight back in. Yeah, I'll have his stats actually. I'll have Bradley's stats if you don't
I think
mind.
you want to hear his stats actually. But
Yeah,
okay.
I'll have Bradley's stats. Yeah.
All right, I'll give them to you though. All the same.
Well, you can leave out the gave the ball away if you want.
No, I'm giving them all now. Played 90 minutes.
He's from Northern Ireland, by the way, not Ireland. Just
Northern Ireland. Yep. One clearance. One block.
Wine gums are really tasty wine gums, by the way. They're delicious, Maynard's wine gums. As wine gums go, they're fine packers.
Okay. There's. Yeah. I didn't know that you're looking for a sponsor, but I got you. One clearance, one block shot, one interception, 3 tackles, 7 times dribble passed, 52 touches, was 85% for his passing, 2 key passes, 3 out of 5 for his long balls, 6 out of 17 for his ground duels, 1 out of 1 for his aerial duels, lost the ball 10 times, committed 1 foul, and was 3 for 3 for his dribble attempts.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I'll still go with a 60.
Okay.
60. Yeah.
All right. JK, we got JK's score, I believe, right?
On Bradley, I'll give him a 60. I'll give him a 60. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then going by what the chat said, because there's some 70s in there, I'll give him a 67. 67. The next player is the player that I would have liked to have seen actually. Okay, and KJ gave him a 60. Got you, KJ. The next player that I had on this list was Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez. He was a player that I would have liked to have seen Joe Gomez play at the left back in that game or in a game, but apparently Slot doesn't necessarily see him in that role currently. I don't know if he will going forward or not, but I know a lot of us recognize and remember how well he did for us last year, especially in a time of need when we were out both of our left backs, which is a rarity. Joe Gomez, what were you going to rate Joe Gomez, Brian?
I think he just gets a solid 70, really. Like KJ says, good game, went unnoticed. And sometimes, like, I know, like, we're talking about, like, with Zubi, language can be, with me, colloquial. Like, when I say something, I know what they know, I know what I mean. And I say, like, he kind of looked unnoticed would be a better way of saying, like, the game passed him, but whatever it was, he just, but sometimes you can have a player that does go unnoticed, and that's a really good thing. For a defender to just go through the game, he didn't even know he was there because he did everything right. He made no mistakes, nice and tidy all the time, that kind of thing. So it was one of those kind of Gomez games. So probably just a straight 70, unless I'm forgetting something that he did, which is completely, possible, or some rick that he made. But to me, just solid. It seems to be first choice for the Cups, a centre half, which I like. I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Did they do the same thing last night? Did they make him captain again last night?
No, Robbo was in the game.
Robbo was captain. Okay, yeah. So, but no, I don't. I just think he's one of those guys that sometimes a centre half does not need to be spectacular. Mm-hmm. I don't really need to. It's like the referee. Like, the referee's had a good game when nobody talks about it. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like sometimes with a centre half, he's had a good game when nobody's talking about it. So definitely a 70, just a straight 70 type of game.
Yeah, it looks like 70s. JK, what was your rating for Joey?
Yeah, same as was it KJ who said it about played good, we didn't really notice him.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a 65.
65. Okay. Lee?
71.
71. All right. Where did we end up? And that makes him. I saw a couple of. So Jimmy gave him a 77. Bonkers gave him a 70. Robert gave him a 70. Let's give him a 70. That's a fair deal. Fair deal on him, on Joey G. All right, so now we have Yaros. Go ahead, Brian. You can say his full name if you like.
Oh, Veroslav Jarosz, I'd imagine.
Here you go.
What a boy! What a save! I mean,
two good saves, actually. Two good saves.
Yes, yeah. As someone who started off their kind of life in football as a goalkeeper, and you played in goal a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I got picked in goal because I was tall. Didn't enjoy it, but I know that having played both, there's an incredible feeling in pulling out a great save.
Yeah.
You never get in the other part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's nothing better than scoring a goal. Oh man. Even in a basic game, just striking the ball, putting it at the back of the net, nothing feels better than that. But there's that special feeling also pulling out an incredible save. And he pulled out an incredible save last night.
Top save.
Brilliant. Oh, absolutely, JK. I mean, yeah, no, that's got to be worth at least 15. Not really at fault for
the own goal.
Not at fault for the deflected one. Other one maybe played well. Does the usual. Yeah, I'm going to give him a special. I'm going to give him a 90 just for that save. I thought fair play to him. I really enjoyed that moment, so I'm going to give him a 90.
Okay. Lee, what was your rating for Yaros?
85.
85. Okay. JK?
I will give him for that save high marks. That save was like, you'll always remember that save. What a save that was.
Yep.
You know, what a save. I was like, I thought that was going in.
Yeah, because he was going the wrong way. He was going the wrong way initially. Yeah.
Yeah. And like for Kwanzaa's own goal, what happened? He was going the right way where the ball was going until it hit Kwanzaa, went in.
And then it redirected. Yeah.
So hence why I was a bit peed off with the result 3-2. It just looked like he let 2 goals in, you know, and it's like, you know what I mean, on his debut, full debut.
Not all they could do with either of them, was there?
Yeah, exactly. So for me, for that save, I'm going to give him a 90.
Bonkers going to save the season. I think Kelleher had a really good save for us that could probably give it a run for its money.
I think he was good with his feet as well. I think his passing and everything was sound.
He was good with his feet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His stats don't say it, to tell you the truth, but he was good.
But the eyes do.
Yeah, the eyes definitely do. The stats would not. That went up.
The eyes have,
an agenda.
you know, aruga,
Yeah.
that kind of love hearts thing going on. You know?
Yeah, he had.
Yeah, oh, that guy. If he makes a better save than that in his career, I want to see it. Send it to me on a DVD.
There you go.
Because I want to watch it all day.
There you go.
That save is just whoa. Special moment of the game. You asked the question, what was the most special moment of the game? I think that as well. I think Gapco's strike and that save are the two things that were special in that game.
We did earlier on the moment of the game. That was mine. Was that save?
Oh, it was yours, yeah.
I'm just like, oh,
okay,
just,
nice, good choice, Brian. Good choice.
All right, we'll give him an 80 then.
He'll be telling his grandkids. He'll be like, "Yeah, you don't think I was that good? You have taken the piss out of grandpa. Here, watch this. This is how good.
Yeah,
I
watch
was."
this game that helped us get into the quarterfinal.
Yeah, but Grandpa, you let 2 goals in.
A bit low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That Kwanzaa, I tell you, that
Is that
Kwanzaa, I
Kwanzaa?
tell you.
That fella.
Yeah.
It was all his fault. He took the shine off the display, you know.
How about for last but not least, and then I'll let you guys do each. We'll go through I'll give you guys each a player to rate for the subs, because 4 of the players came in at least with enough time to make a difference. Konate, I'm not going to ask you to rate because he actually only got the last couple of minutes of the game.
Yeah, but he saved us from not letting a goal in, bro. He did his job.
So let's go with our samurai, Wataru Endo.
He was all right, Endo.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to see. That's why it's always interesting. It's interesting to see sometimes the content creators that do match reactions, but they also will do the ratings right after the show, or right after the game, I should say. And sometimes the ratings are a little bit emotion based, and they have to, for some reason, be reminded of certain things or certain actions, because maybe because your focus was just so on one thing, you kind of don't remember clearly the play. Just similar to some of the players that you've been speaking on, like you said, Tyler Morton. You don't really remember that much, but Tyler Morton had a decent game,
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch the game again. I gotta watch the game again. Normally, I watch the game twice. Because
this is a game that was worth it.
This
is a game that was worth it too.
Yeah,
this is a game it was a fun game to watch. Knowing the outcome is a positive one for us, that makes it a little bit easier to watch. I do that.
Yeah,
too.
of course. Yeah.
So Endo. JK, what was your rating for Endo?
Like, for me, Endo, what I like about this guy, he's so easygoing type of guy, where he's a tough guy. He likes to get stuck in a little bit. But he just comes in, does a job, like in the West Ham game as well. He was good. He played well in that game in the last round. Again, last night, I think he had a good game. I'll give him a 70.
Yeah, Red Armchair supporters stealing my thunder. But that's what I was going to say too. Keep in mind, when he stepped off the pitch, we had a 2-0 lead.
There you go.
There you go. It was 2-0.
There you go. Endo. You know what? I was actually disappointed he was coming off. With Endo's the type of guy, when he's on the pitch, there's a little bit more security. We've seen it last season. When Van Dijk and Konate knew Endo was playing, there was more security for them as well. So for me, when Endo plays...
if he didn't have that yellow card, maybe he would have stayed on.
That's what it was. For me, that yellow card, I think that sort of twisted Slot's arm.
Yeah.
Say, I'll bring him off.
It was probably a yellow card. It was most likely.
Oh, that was definitely a yellow. Oh, it was nasty.
I was hoping he walked away. He
that was a total
walked away thinking hey, sorry about that.
He always does that as well, Endo. That's what I like about
he's like, oh wait, give me a yellow card. What? For that? Yeah.
But did you notice quickly how they were also falling on the ground quite a lot? Have you noticed how teams, especially against us guys, end up rolling on the floor all the time? There was one guy whose name begins with G. He had the ball for them, Gurazi or something. I can't remember his name exactly. This guy was on the floor throughout the game. Arsenal did it as well. Arsenal on the floor all the time, because what it is, they use that as a tactic to not let us get the train rolling, they know they know when Liverpool
I'd like to
start
see them
rolling,
try to do something about that more, that'd be interesting if we could figure out a way to so that they're not impacted. I think the one way that they were supposed to do something about that, and this is why, again, for instance in the Arsenal game, when Timber went down and the ball was kicked out, he went down and then got back up immediately after, basically, as soon as the ball went back out. and he was
But
up.
they found the cheat code for that. You know what the cheat code for that is?
Go ahead.
Make the goalkeeper go down.
Yeah, that's
If
even worse.
if the
Because then,
goalkeeper goes,
yeah,
oh no, stop,
yeah, that's even
oh, it hurt me.
worse.
Everyone has to stop then. Because they
Yeah,
go, okay, technically,
he can't
it's
go
not a
off
head
and
injury.
he can't go
Yeah,
off
technically you don't have to kick
be
the ball
called
out.
back on. If he could
Yeah.
do that, that'd be funny. That
Make
would
him
be
fuck
actually
off. Yeah,
pretty
open
cool.
goal, guys.
Open goal.
It's
You
not a head injury.
gotta put the center back there, and he's gotta like
Yeah.
put his hands behind his back and hopefully not get a
No,
handball.
because we spoke about this last night. This is the thing that I hate more than anything in this. Like I said, okay, look, you're a little tactical fucking shite or whatever, but that thing where a team is in the ascendancy and are gaining momentum, and a goalkeeper who always takes short passing goal kicks will, for some reason, go long, right?
Right.
And when he goes long, oh, I'm after twinging me. Oh,
Yeah.
hurt me knee. And then he'll go down.
Yep.
And it's like, nah, it's like, and you can see them like,
no,
the
you
bench
can.
will get
It's
the other
worst.
goalkeeper ready.
That is horrible.
Yeah, and the keeper will go, no, it's cool. I'll be okay in a minute. And you can tell they're just making it look, oh, they've had 3 chances in the last 2 minutes. We need to kill
slow
this
it down.
momentum.
Slow
I
it
hate
down,
that
yeah.
shit. I hate it.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
Gruder,
that
bro.
goes against everything in the game. To me,
Yeah.
that really does.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a
if you're-
tactic
I'm
they use.
sorry.
They're going to use it, bro. They have
Like,
to use
kick
everything.
the ball
Yeah.
out, punch it away, or whatever. Fine, okay. Like the stuff that you always used to do as a kid, right? You kick the ball, you deal with it in a kind of an on the pitch way. But this kind of thing, oh, let's just pretend to be injured and stop the game. Nah, man. No, you've gone. I get you can do it, but as Chris Rock famously said, just because something can be done doesn't mean it's to be done. You know, there's a line.
Yeah.
There's a line.
I agree with that completely. No, you're right. I also was going to say that on the likes of like a Timber, like, dropping to the ground and saying he's hurt, and he's hurt, whatever. Well, it used to, or not used to be, it still is, but because it was kicked out of bounds, that's the reason why he didn't have to go off the pitch, I guess, and he didn't seek it, he didn't get attention. If he does go down like that, have him come off the pitch for the 30 seconds that supposedly is how long they're supposed to be allowed over. That's supposed to be now a new rule where it's supposed to be 30 seconds minimum that they have to wait on the sideline before they can get called back onto the pitch. If you're going to continue to drop and make up faint injuries, but yet you can sprint back onto the pitch, you know what I mean? Like why don't you go take a little 30-second break, figure it out, and then you can come back on.
But can I just quickly on that, just on that, I mean, if you're in a Champions League final, right, and like Real Madrid, like we're 1-0 up, and Real Madrid are battering us, right? Okay, cool. Take the sting out of the game. We'll be there going, yeah, nice, well played, kind of thing. Like in a big, huge game like that. But what I'm saying is, you got teams like Arsenal doing this against teams like Southampton in a league game. They're doing it in games where they should just be going and playing football. Yeah, look, you're in a huge game like a World Cup final. Like, look, we're getting battered here. We're 1-0 up. Let's just do something. Let's just, kill this for a minute. Okay, cool. That's good game management. But the likes of Arsenal are doing this against every team in the league, every single game. Sit here doing it against teams that they should just have the courage to go out and play football against and beat them without this nonsense bullshit that goes along with it,
I don't think I have a picture of him. Let me get a picture for him.
I'll go with that. I'll give Endo a 70 as well. I won't talk about him, but I'll go with everybody. I'll give him a 70 as well.
Okay, make sure we go. Lee, what was your rating for Endo? I already got the chats.
Yeah, I'll give Endo a 71.
Okay. And that would bring us to the subs. I'm going to give each one of you a sub so we can get through this, so we can get to what everyone loves to see, which is the player of the match. I think we all know who that's going to probably end up being, but still the same.
Endo.
Yeah, possibly.
Kwanzaa.
Endo looks like he's enjoying.
Kwanzaa.
Endo looks like he's enjoying a packet of Maynard's wine gums.
Yes, he
Like
definitely get through one. He could get through it. Like, yeah.
But he wouldn't eat them with his gum shield in. I know that much. Like maybe he could have a gum shield made out of Maynard's wine gums.
He probably thought it was a gum shield.
Like I love when he comes rushing onto the pitch with the gum shield on and starts shouting at people, like not shouting, but telling them like you go there, I go here. It's like he's Japanese, right? He's just come from Germany. He's got a gum shield in, and he's trying to speak English. I mean, that's probably not going to be. People are looking on. What? Okay, no, it's yeah. Take the gum shield out, then put it back in.
Yeah. He speaks English. It's not the most perfect English, but he does speak English.
You only need football English. You go here, I sit here.
Yeah, exactly.
You go there,
he knows how to say
That's
all that matters. Right.
Pointy shouty.
All right. So I'm gonna give each one of you a player. I'll save one of them while I look to see for his actual. I don't have an actual picture for him, so I'm gonna find a picture for him. But Brian, I'm going to give you McAllister. McAllister got in on the 64th minute.
He didn't have a good game, did he? He actually didn't have a good game, now that I think about it. Got a nice reception from the Brighton fans, which I kind of expected. They're not a buoy kind of crowd. You know, they're a new enough club to the top echelons. So they're not one of those. Oh yeah, they're not one of those clubs. Their fans go around booing ex-players.
It wasn't bad access either, was it? With him, it was just like he had a price and they had to sell him. He never caused any hassle, did he?
No, it's even better than that, Lee. He was on a free. The year we signed him, he was on a free that summer. He only signed a new deal in the February-March. Like, because he could have just gone on a free in the summer, but he agreed to sign a new deal with them with a release clause that was like 35 million, which is basically half what he's worth. So yeah, he could have walked, but he agreed to sign a new deal and gave them a transfer fee back. So like their fans can have nothing to say about him. He was too good to stay not at Brighton, not too good for Brighton, but too good to be at a club that isn't in the Champions League. He got a great reception. He was phenomenal for them. He's a big part of how they got to where they were. Captain, scored a load of goals, took all their penalties, never missed a penalty. So and Brighton is a very nouveau riche kind of part of England. They're nice, polite fans, very respectful. But I didn't think he had a great game. I see some people give him like really, really low scores, not in tonight's chat, but on other. He was horrible when he came. It was awful when he came.
No, he's 55 from Robert, 56 from Bonkers. So those aren't exactly.
I know he's my guy. I'm sorry, I know he's my guy, but I was actually genuinely interested to hear what everybody else thought of him, because I've seen some people say, "Oh, he was horrible when he came on." I was like, "Yeah, he didn't have a great game, yada yada." But I'd be like in the 58 kind of thing, but. Some people who watched it twice or something. Was he that bad, or did he,
I only watched it the once, like.
Yeah. No, I've just seen a few people saying, "Geez, he was awful when he came on," kind of thing. But I'll give him a 58.
Okay. 58. Let me put that in for you. Let's write around what everyone else is giving him in the chat.
Yeah, it seems like a 50s and 58s or 55s and that kind of thing.
All right.
I think he's been overplayed.
I will give Mo Salah to JK. What would you have given Salah?
Never really got involved, really. Him and Darwin, so I'll just give him a 55.
55. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what the chat gives Mo. I give him a second to get their shouts in. Mo got a 56 from Bonkers. Okay.
60 from Rob.
Okay. 60 from Rob. Any other votes out there?
Nope.
Okay, so all right. JK, what was your score one more time?
For Salah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gave him a 50, was it?
Yeah.
No, I
All
think
right.
you said 55.
55, yeah, 55, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Considering the chat was with you on that one. How about for Darwin? I leave that for you. Lee, you can rate Darwin so that no one says no one calls me being biased.
Yeah, Darwin will give. How long did he have? Forgotten.
He got on Mo and Darwin got on in the 71st minute, so they got like about 20 minutes in. 20 plus with whatever extra time there was.
Yeah. I'll give him 5.1.
Okay. 60 from Robert. Let's make it like a 53. I'll bump it up just a few. 53. He was right around the same as I think as Nunez got 56 from Bonkers. Yeah. I just think they came in for other reasons. I don't think they came in to score. They just came in to like kind of bring in fresh legs and hold it down. So 56 is what I'm going to give him. All right. And then Trey Neone. I thought Trey played well. I thought he came in. He did a decent job. I definitely noted that he was a feel-good moment to see him get an opportunity to play. Came in for Endo, and played 26 minutes. That's quite a bit of minutes. 21 touches. Mm-hmm. Had a shot. It was off target, but definitely got a shot in. It just didn't curl completely the way that he wanted it to curl. I'm going to go with a 65 for Trey. I'm going to go with 65. It was a good effort, I think. It was good effort.
Was an uncomfortable end to the game, wasn't it? With them conceding the 2 goals. Wasn't pleasant at the end of the game.
Yeah, it was a nail biter. How about for then? Speaking of nail biter, then Arnie Slot was the director of the Halloween treat. Yeah. What are you gonna rate Arnie? What are you gonna give Arnie? Lee, I'll go with you first, and then we'll go Brian and JK.
I'll give him a 78.
78. Wow.
I like that photo of him, actually. He looks good there, really purposeful with the ball, like just looking out over the training.
Where's DM then, bro?
Yeah. What are you gonna give Arnie, Brian?
Just give him 70. 68. 68.
Okay. And JK, last but not least.
I'm going to give him an 80 because everything was going well. He got his tactics all right. We were winning 2-0. And he took Kwanzaa off at a time where I think he needs to come off. So he did a good move there. So I'm gonna give him an 80.
Wow. Okay. Bonkers gave him a 70. Robert gave him a 75. All right. All right. I'm going to go with a 75 myself. There you go. 75 seems like it's Red Armchair Supporter gave him an 80. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. It's like right in the middle. All right. Well, that brings us to the player of the match. Man of the match. I think we all know who that's going to probably be, but I'm still going to allow for you to put in your votes as to who you want it to be. JK, who do you vote for man of the match?
The one and only Gakpo. The goal alone was, well, like for me, he's ever since the Euros. I said it early on in the show. The Euros have gave him proper determination to be a regular starter, and you do it by scoring goals like that.
Okay. Yeah. Bonkers, Cody, Robert, Cody, Red Armchair Supporter, Cody. All right. Brian, what was your who was your man of the match? Is it still Endo? No, or no? Tyler Morton.
Good old Darwin, yeah. Let's give him one.
There you go. Even better. That'd be even a better shout to hear from you.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Clear one.
Okay. I don't know about that nickname, but Lee?
Yeah, it's got to be Gakpo. Technically, Diaz's goal won us the game because that was the third goal, and it was 3-2. But so in a sense, that's right. But it was Gakpo's night, wasn't it? It was in showcased what he had for us, and yeah, that was brilliant.
He makes a very difficult question for Arnie when it comes to, and Lucho too. Both are making it very difficult for him to decide, to the point where he's starting Lucho on the right side, in games, and having him start on the left. It says a lot.
Gakpo's just edging.
Yeah.
For me at the moment, Gakpo has just, yeah. If you ask me, one can start right now. I'm picking Cody because he's on fire. Not saying Diaz isn't. Diaz on more of a low burn.
It's going to be a big call from Slot if he doesn't. I'll be fairly surprised if he doesn't, especially after taking him off as well.
I think he starts, Lee, especially because what you just said, because you took him off. You only take a guy off on a hat-trick in a League Cup game that's open as fuck. That game was wide open. And he's looking at him going, I'm on a hat-trick. He's like, yeah, but I'm taking you off because you're starting at the weekend. That's to me, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
So what do you do with Diaz?
I can understand that. Maybe he does that. Maybe Cody does get to start against Brighton. I don't think it guarantees him to start against Leverkusen, though, to be honest with you.
Oh, not Lever, but in the league. I'm starting Cody.
Yeah. I mean, Leverkusen's an important game. I'm just saying that's the next game after. So, yeah, I think.
And Brian came out with, "What do you do with Diaz Part 2?"
Yeah.
What do you do with Diaz Part 2?
Yeah, Part 2. The sequel. Well, Cody's the man of the match. He's well deserving of it. And isn't that anything that will be bring us done a conclusion to our ratings and being a conclusion to our show. Kind of a fun little show here. It's heavy impact show in the very beginning. Definitely, I knew I was definitely going to. As soon as I started paddling down the river there, I was like, okay, I know this could get a little choppy, considering I know when it comes to going up against people's, players that people hold in high regard. Sometimes hearing some of the critiques can be difficult to palate. So so again, I appreciate the chat, the way that they kept their demeanor and they kept it respectable. It's definitely a noticeable difference, this chat. I will say that right now, when it comes to the demeanor and the maturity and just the overall culture that they hold. It was proper because we were able to have a conversation, despite the fact that we weren't agreeing on everyone's takes. We were definitely still very, very respectful of each other.
No, but at the end of that conversation, I had retracted one of the statements that I had made, and Zuberi had softened his language in the words that he was using to make his point. So it was a very it was a it was a spiky conversation. But at the end, I mean, I still don't agree with what Zuberi was saying, but he also said, the words he was using were too extreme or were too kind of full on in the point. But he was still standing by the point that he was making to a degree, But I thought it was not our usual kind of thing. Maybe, if we could say that, it was a little bit more. But it's good to have someone like Subi on who's
off the cuff.
Look, he says it how he thinks. He's not. He doesn't say stuff to just say it for the sake of it. He says it because he believes it and he's prepared to back it up. And but like he said, at the end of the day, we're all Liverpool fans.
Mm-hmm.
We're not two United fans and two Liverpool fans. We're all Liverpool fans. So it's just the minor details but that's what we're here for, because
and that's why we appreciate you in the chat, and that's why I appreciate the panel for showing and proving in another great show. Pops is saying he agrees. He thinks that both Cody and Simicast will start on Saturday. Okay. Bonker says Diaz up front. That's what he thinks that Akbo should start again, but he thinks that Diaz will start up front. And psychedelic scientist pickup, bro. Whenever we get to see psychedelic scientists, he's been some other names too. It's been this psychedelic Shaolin monk, I believe was another name that he went with. Big up. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to see you, brother. And Robert McGuire is saying we all want what's best for the club. Yeah, absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot
on. 100%.
Yeah. There you go. He is a gladiator. He definitely was a gladiator. Let's see if
I'm putting goals in my team, I'm putting goals in my team wherever I can. And if I can put Cody in right now on hot streak, if somebody else has to lose out, but I'm not dropping Cody. No chance. Now he can go out and do the usual great against the team in the cup and then anonymous in the league, but
right, that's the biggest thing. It's great that he's done it in the Euros. It's great that he's done it in cup, because I mean, like, heck, without his contributions, we would not have had that League Cup. Let's just be honest. A lot of his contributions helped us get through that competition last year. But yeah, I'd love to see this transfer over into the league play, where we can start causing it to be causing people to really have to say, okay, we can't just shade to one side and emphasize trying to put more emphasis on maybe Mo, or putting more emphasis on covering Darwin or whoever. We have to cover Lucho, we have to cover Cody, we have to cover Darwin, we have to cover Mo, all equally, even Dom possibly as well. So the other thing I was going to say is, JK, is there anything that you want to discuss before we bounce out?
Get your team sorted for the fantasy league this weekend.
Definitely. Is there early kickoff? Is there early kickoff Friday?
No, it's Saturday. I think there's one on Saturday morning.
Yeah. When I say early kickoff, I mean like, for the start of the week.
No, there's only 4 Fridays. We've had 2. There's only 2 more, I think. So
but they've got Arsenal, Newcastle, Arsenal. First game on Saturday morning, so like 12:30 kickoff.
Yeah, so get it in tomorrow
by 11.
Hopefully, if JK is available tomorrow, he'll give us some tips for. He won't obviously give us all the tips because I'm sure he wants to stay atop the league, but hopefully he can throw out a couple bones to us, to those of us that are trying to pick up a little momentum on.
Make a review,
yeah. And Irishman, is there anything you'd like to say to people before we allow for them to enjoy the rest of their Thursday?
Yeah, we've missed a load of topics, really, because of what's been happening. We haven't talked about. We haven't talked.
Oh, we haven't talked. Well, we're not going to talk if apparently your mic isn't going to allow for you to talk about it. I don't know what happened there. You guys are still with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure.
I know.
Yeah.
No, we might get some kind of a chance during the week to recap on a few things, maybe. But yeah, it doesn't stop now, does it?
No, it doesn't. Yeah,
it just doesn't stop. So
I had a bunch of stuff like
like just
Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. I had stuff to like pile into a couple episodes, but just haven't had the time, even with our 3-hour segments.
Yeah, like if anybody in the chat is wondering, why aren't talking about this, why aren't talking about that? I mean, or if there's anything that you do want us to do, but yeah, there's just so much stuff coming. Yeah, I mean, Ten Hag gone brilliant, Amorim going in. I don't care. Vinny Jr. stuff, don't care. Saw kind of Ballon d'Or about 10 years ago, but huge stories. But so it turned out that West Ham was the tipping point for Ten Hag. So, but yeah, that just shows you football. It's like, oh, sorry, blinking, you'll miss it. Keeps going, keeps moving fast.
Right. Yep, it is the Ferris Bueller of life there. So, Lee, is there something you'd like to say to people before
just quickly before you go, who's having a tenner on him being the next Tottenham manager? Because I am. Ten Hag to be the next Tottenham manager. Get your money on it. That's the most obvious thing of all time. He's going to get the Tottenham job.
Do you reckon?
Of course he is. Of course he will. They'll sack that other guy in about 2 years' time, and Ten Hag will come back. He'll go to like
heard it here first.
Yeah, he'll go back to PSV because he's like really highly regarded everywhere but Manchester and England. Still, he'll go back to Holland or Germany and get a really good job because they still think he's really good.
Yeah.
And then he'll end up he is like, that's what Tottenham always do. They hire failed former managers from big clubs. So yeah, I definitely got a tenner on Ten Hag being the next Tottenham manager.
Only Spurs could catch a stray at the end of a Brighton Liverpool League Cup review show. But all right.
Yeah. Sorry, Spurs fans.
Lee, what would you like to say to the people?
Thanks to everyone in the chat. Hope you have a good time. Thanks to Red Armchair Supporter specifically for reminding me of Maynard's wine gums. I'm going to get myself some next time I'm in the high street. They've just got the right consistency and texture. Yeah. They're quite soft and nice. There's harder wine gums that are nowhere near as nice. And they're just the absolute apex as far as wine gums are concerned. And I'm going to get myself some. I'd actually crawl over broken glass for a packet right now.
I love it when something gets in your head like that.
There you go.
Yeah. When wine gums used to taste different, now they all taste the bloody same. No, Maynard's. That's obviously yellow. That's obviously red.
No idea.
Yeah, they're just sweet candy, as you call them.
Yeah.
Spurs actually turned down Ten Hag a year before he went to United. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
They turned him down. What's he do? Show up at the door?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, just, hello.
Let me in.
Eric.
He said no.
I'm Eric. You want a manager? No, fuck off, dude.
Nope.
That'd be
We're
very
going
funny.
down definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys out there and ladies out there that joined us today. We will be joining you tomorrow. We're going to be doing the show a little bit earlier than normal tomorrow because I have a big weekend and I have to be at the event very early. So I'm going to make a point to try to do an early show. So keep your notification bell on. And as always, people, up the Reds, up the Reds. We will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.